Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Football Stooges. Happy Thanksgiving to all those that celebrate. I know it's American Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was earlier, but happy Thanksgiving to all that celebrate. It's a wonderful week of time with family and friends, the time to think back, and the time to enjoy some football.
And boy, are we thankful for it.
Exactly. We have a lot of football to cover from last week and a great slate of football games to look forward to. I love holidays and football together. I've said this many times before, but you all know that. Anyway, I'm your host, Lob City. Welcome to the Football Stooges, the weekly football YouTube show where we cover football in the stupidest way imaginable.
And boys is stupid.
And boys is stupid. I'm
trying to save it for one time only for doing it.
It's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. Indulge.
Yeah.
And boy, are we thankful.
Exactly. I can't do this alone, and as always, the four other compatriots with me. We'll start out with the hand sanitizer, the Purell hand sanitizer. Excuse me, we are sponsored, not hand sanitizer. The Football Stooges.
Hell no, we ain't
hell
sponsored.
No, I'm a Johnson & Johnson guy around here. Anyway, fuck it, Macedon.
You got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. How are you still alive?
No, the Johnson & Johnson fucking hand sanitizer. I was talking about the vaccine. Leave it to Kate to get political.
Johnson.
How is that political?
Yep. Okay. I mean, Macedon's living so long because of those hand sanitizer. That Purell.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Oh.
Barkley for MVP, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, keep sucking Barkley's dick, why don't you?
Whoa, he ain't glazing Barkley at all. That was a great performance.
Look. Barkley had a generational run Sunday.
I was playing Macedon fantasy, bro, and the reason he won fantasy was because Saquon Barkley put the whole team on his back.
Who was sucking a Jordan Love stick last year?
I was getting pissed at left, right, and center.
Anyway, next up, a man who is once again hating everything to do with Chicago special teams. It's Mamba.
I am not thankful for the Bears. The Lions are going to win. I'm going to put my pick right now. Lions by 14. Okay, Macedon, write it down. Write it down.
There we go. Right.
There you go. Just leave it up there. Just leave it up there the entire. Just leave it.
We're just gonna leave it there the whole
even
night.
a question.
Yeah, might be a leave for everybody. Next up, a man who thoroughly enjoyed some revenge for the NFC divisional game last week, Gordon Lamy.
Yeah, and not to mention that the NFL and Thanksgiving goes together like Scotty and alcohol. Match made in heaven.
You know what also is a match made in heaven? That stomach of yours and beer.
Is it really a revenge game with basically half the San Fran teams on the IR?
No.
So you're
not
beating,
one bit. Not one bit.
He doesn't even feel good about it. And last but certainly not least, a man that doesn't feel good about anything to do with Boston sports. It's K-Duff.
I already have the Thanksgiving hangover stuff after watching Sunday's game.
Boston sports?
I need to see how Bruins are doing.
We fired Jim Montgomery and replaced it with an interim. It's not good.
Quick?
Interesting.
God damn.
Yeah. The boys club wins again. What can you expect?
Yeah. All right, we got a lot to get to. Obviously, this is coming out a little bit earlier. As you see, this is coming out the 27th. We're recording this on the 25th.
My camera broke.
Gorlami camera broke.
Oh yeah, he's frozen.
Just leave him in that position. Oh.
Okay, bye.
There he is.
Still frozen.
Just leave him there frozen.
Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Oh, that's great.
All right, so we.
It says no.
Well.
Can we just have a fake like?
There we go. Hey guys.
There we go. All right, we're good now. All right, we got
a video broadcast that just keeps breaking.
Yeah,
I think it's because you're wearing green, so it's confused.
All right, we have a lot to get
John Deere Day.
We're coming up on College Football Rivalry Weekend, coming up this Saturday. Obviously, this is releasing on Wednesday for you guys, so hopefully you can get this in before you start the old festivities of Thanksgiving. Then we'll have to cover some football games from last week, and we'll look forward to a great week of football and obviously do all of our segments. But before we do all that, let's go ahead and get into some trivia. I always like to start out with some trivia here. Kicker or punter? Ooh, kicker or punter for the Chargers?
I mean, Dicker the kicker, obviously.
Dicker the kicker.
Okay. I was trying to think of one who missed so many kicks for the Chargers. I know that's a lot of them, but
yeah. We're gonna look at this later. I think there's a specific kicker that I remember that could have been a bolt. So let's do another kicker or punter that lost in the Super Bowl and played in. Pat. McAfee.
No. Rip
I
McAfee.
was
He
he
did.
in the Super Bowl?
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah, the Colts lost to the Saints back in
Oh,
06.
okay.
Kicker or punter with 3 Pro Bowls.
Adam Vinatieri.
You're damn right.
I was
Oh,
about to
okay.
say,
Well, fuck me, I guess.
Wait,
Ken
was it
Anderson's all right. Valid, though.
Was it Ken
Yeah.
Anderson? Oh, I'm trying to remember. Was that the kicker for the Saints, or am I thinking of?
Well, we'll find out from one of the two Ken Andersons up there.
Do Vinny.
Adam Vinatieri.
Let's say Akers, but
There we go.
All right. Played for head coach Pete Carroll, and it was going to 3 Pro Bowls. So
Oh, and we got to do Mr. Unlimited.
Now
Mr.
let's.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
it could be that. It could be Sherman. It could be Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor,
Mr. Unlimited.
Lawson, Subel. Yeah, Cam Chancellor.
Played for head coach Pete Carroll, and also is a Ram.
That's
Chargers.
Chargers.
Or Chargers, sorry. LA.
Are you drunk right now?
You're frozen.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh, isn't Will Dissly on the Chargers now? Wasn't he? Didn't he play with Carroll before?
No.
There we go. Will
Yeah,
Dissly.
there we go.
Nice. All right. A Harbaugh, a man who played basically for both teams that are coached now by Harbaughs.
Well, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, yeah. That is right.
Oh, yeah, Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins. You got
Lost in the Super Bowl, played in it, was a Baltimore Raven.
That was a Raven.
Most of the Super Bowls they go to, they win.
Which one did
they
they
I'm
lost
trying to think of
against
former
the
players.
Giants in 2000. They've only been to 2.
They won both.
I remember the Flacco one.
Oh wait,
Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco.
that's right. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. Then
Who's the other one? What?
does it count? So it has to be the Ravens. Not it can't be like Baltimore Colts, can it?
No, that's Indianapolis Colts heritage now.
Okay,
Baltimore Colts became their own thing.
that's right. That's right.
The Colts, the Baltimore Colts are still the same as iteration as the Indianapolis because they moved. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't completely form a new franchise.
No, but the Indianapolis Colts still keep Johnny Unitas' retired number.
Yeah,
the
that's
record for
right.
Johnny Unitas.
Oh, okay.
The Baltimore Colts formed their own thing. Just like the Baltimore Ravens are actually the oh shit, there goes Gorlami.
And there he goes.
The Baltimore
Browns.
Ravens. Oh, the Baltimore Ravens are actually the Browns. Yes.
Yes.
So, but yeah, a Baltimore Raven that lost in the Super Bowl. Let's think of maybe guys that joined the Ravens through their career. Did Odell Beckham lose in the Super Bowl? Because I know he went with the Rams.
No.
I think the Rams one was the only one he played in.
Yep.
Rams. Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I know for 3 Pro Bowls in Baltimore, you could do Ray Lewis.
Well, that's just easy.
Or Ray Rice, I meant.
I mean,
either
work.
Either.
Lost in a Super Bowl. Ooh.
Oh! I just thought of one. Kyle Van Noy.
Let me try this one first.
Deion Sanders wasn't a Raven.
No.
Try Kyle Van Noy because he's been a Patriot for a while and they've lost a few Super Bowls. Probably while he was on the roster. There we go.
Anquan Bolden.
Eric Weddle.
Oh.
Okay, that makes sense.
Eric Weddle.
Let's see for the kicker punter for the Chargers.
Yeah. But,
Am I functioning now?
No, your camera's not on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Nope.
Lob didn't put you on. That's why.
No, your camera's still loading on the screen. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh.
What was I going to say? Deion Sanders was a Raven for a season in 2005.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever lost a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to figure out, but I guess he never did. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the kicker or punter. I'm trying to see if he's on here. Cameron Dickerson.
Badgley, McLaughlin,
Young
Dustin
Hoku?
Dustin
Yes,
Hopkins was it?
He was on the Chargers first.
He was, yeah.
Wow, so
I forgot
no
about
pictures.
that.
And then he got released.
I guess he was
by the
only a
Chargers.
Colt. I was looking for Blewett.
Chris Blewett.
Oh, George Blair. Oh my goodness.
I thought
I had
Blewett
no
was
idea.
on Washington.
I had no idea Younghoe
Blewett...
Koo was on either of these teams.
Yes, he was a Charger first.
Ah.
I forgot all about that too.
Dustin Hopkins too, at least on one. I think he might have been actually a former Charger.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to college football. So sadly, I will not be able to talk about the college football playoff rankings. They've not come out yet. So I'm gonna go ahead. Sorry, Mom. I'm gonna remove this because
doesn't ESPN do some sort of prediction for the top 12?
It's not the official college football rankings. I'm looking at the AP poll and the college football ranking. That's the only thing I'm looking at. Yeah. So Oregon won. They'll be playing the Apple Cup versus Washington. They're number 1. Likely will stay. They've already guaranteed a spot in the Big Ten championship. However, that doesn't mean they're just going to roll over this game. The game is happening in Ohio State Stadium. Ohio State will be playing Michigan. Michigan is unranked. They are 7-5 on the season, I think now. Not a great year for Michigan, but not many people expect it to be good because of the amount of people they lost in the draft. Texas at number 3 is the leading SEC team. Their one loss is coming to Georgia. They're playing at Texas A&M. Penn State will be playing versus Maryland at home. Also, for that Texas A&M game, there's a lot of students complaining about ticket prices because the companies that buy the tickets, like StubHub, are scalping it and selling them for insanely high. I watched a video of someone that was looking at like the second upper deck, like really high up, $2,000 a ticket for Texas A&M. Texas. Yeah. So
I thought Sleep Token tickets getting like priced out for like $800 standing room.
Roll call for tickets for like 48 hours out in the elements and like tents, like it's Black Friday. The Saints and Sinners game, Notre Dame versus USC, will be at USC. Notre Dame is number 5. Again, they cannot get a top 4 spot in the college football playoff as they are not in a conference and will never be a conference championship until they eventually join the Big Ten. Do it. Georgia. Georgia will be playing Georgia Tech, their rival. They are second in the SEC. Tennessee's right behind them. They're playing Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt could shock them, but I doubt it. Miami, Florida is playing at Syracuse, and SMU will be playing versus California. Miami and SMU are poised to match up in the ACC championship, and that one team that wins that, possibly both of them, could get in the college football playoff.
SMU is already in the ACC championship game. It's just a matter of if Miami wins or Clemson loses. Miami wins, they're in. If Clemson loses, Miami's in. But both win, but Miami loses and Clemson wins. Clemson's in the ACC championship game.
So there's 4 possibilities that happen. Both lose, Miami's in. Miami wins, Miami's in. Clemson loses, Clemson's in. But if Miami loses and Clemson wins, Clemson's in.
You mean Clemson lose, Miami's in. You say Clemson in.
Wait, was that not a catch by Andrews there?
Yeah. So Indiana had their first loss of the season, not just first big loss, first loss of the season. It was against ranked Ohio State. This is their biggest and toughest opponent, and they lost decently handily. They'll be playing for the old Oaken Bucket versus Purdue. I still think they can sneak in the college football playoff, but I don't think they'll do incredibly well. However, I do think they will probably. That game versus Purdue might need to have a NC-17 rating because that is going to be a bloodbath. That is going to be murder on live television.
Yeah. Not looking forward to that. Not gonna watch it. Yeah. I'd rather drown myself in piss.
Okay.
Continue.
Boise State will play Oregon State.
Pause.
Boise State will be in the Mountain West Championship. I don't know if we can tell if they're playing because I don't think any of their Mountain West team. Okay, they'll be playing the UNLV. It looks like. After that, obviously we talked about Clemson playing South Carolina, Alabama.
That's a tough one. That'll be a tough one.
It will be a tough
12,
one.
Alabama. That's funny.
Alabama it dropped 6 spots because they lost. I believe it was 24-3 to Oklahoma, who has no quality wins this year until this one.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Also, good Lord. The only division that is more chaotic than the SEC is the Big 12. Arizona State knocked off BYU. They'll be playing at Arizona. Ole Miss will be playing the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. Number 16, South Carolina, as we said, will be playing at Clemson. Iowa State, who's in the Big 12, will be playing Kansas State. Tulane, out of the American Athletic Conference, is number 18. They'll be playing Memphis. BYU fell 5 spots to number 19. They'll be playing versus Houston. As I said before, Texas A&M at number 20 will be playing Texas. UNLV of the Mountain West will be playing Nevada. Illinois will be playing at Northwestern. They're 22nd. Colorado, sadly, now is probably out of the college football playoff conversations as they dropped 7.
Were ever in the conversation.
They were last week.
Yeah, they were last week.
with Colorado, when Colorado was starting their game, BYU had lost. When BYU lost, that meant that if Colorado had won, it would have been Iowa State and them at the top of the Big 12 to play each other in the Big 12 championship. The winner of the Big 12 is most likely getting in the college football playoff. But Colorado got upset by the upset king of the season, which is Kansas. Missouri at number 24, they'll be playing Arkansas out of the SEC, and Army, who fell 7 spots after suffering their first loss of the season against Notre Dame, will be playing the University of Texas San Antonio. Other votes for the AP poll: Kansas State, Memphis, Syracuse, Louisville, Washington State, Duke, Louisiana, Lafayette, Florida, LSU, Georgia Tech. Whoever voted for Florida needs to have so there's 4 votes.
Georgia Tech somehow got in with 2 as well.
I would take Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech's not bad.
Georgia Tech's not bad.
Georgia Tech's not
Florida
bad.
getting votes is asinine. That is ridiculous.
They're probably because they're like, oh, they beat LSU and the SEC dick sucking. So,
oh my goodness, Brian Kelly beat LSU, man. That's just it. So, just looking forward to the college football playoff. The teams I think will be in. Oregon, Ohio State are going to get in. They're going to play in the Big Ten championship. It seems like, unless Michigan knocks off Ohio State, which would be crazy. But even if that happens, I think Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State all get in. That's the Big Ten's contribution. Then, after that, I think Texas and Georgia and Tennessee will get in. So that's 6 right now. That's half. Then Notre Dame will get in. That's 7. I think, obviously, both ACC teams, I think, will get in. You're going to have a 1-loss Miami, a 1-loss SMU get in.
Well, one of them
will have 2 losses, but there's some 3-loss teams that are in this. So I think both of those, that's 9. So leaves space for 3 more. You'll obviously have Boise State in the Mountain West. I don't think they're going to lose that. And then a Big 12 championship, which right now looks like Arizona State might be the front runner. So that is another 2 teams. You're going to get to 11. There'll leave spot for 1 more. That's either going to be Indiana or the Big 12 runner-up, which at this point looks like Iowa State or BYU. I think they're going to go with Indiana because they're probably only going to have 1 loss unless Purdue does the impossible. So that's my prediction right there.
I'm praying. I'm fucking praying. Give me a Hail Mary.
Yeah. So that's college football. Wrap that up. Let's go ahead and move on now to KDUF News.
All right, so for KDUF News, because we're doing this a lot earlier, I don't have definite information on how these injuries are going to pan out, but there are a few that I can report on. So far, out for a year, the big ones of the week have to be Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham, probably the heart and soul of their defensive line that tore his tricep in their win. So he's done. Sorry, Macedon. Buccaneers safety Jordan Whitehead also suffered a torn muscle, this one being a pectoral. He's done. And the Raiders season their quarterback situation is just getting from bad to worse after Gardner Minshew broke his collarbone in the loss to the Broncos, leaving them with just Desmond Ridder, Aiden O'Connell, and Gus Bradley's kid from South Alabama University, Carter Bradley, to pick for this week. So they are fucked. As for short to long-term stuff, Panthers running back Miles Sanders is heading to the IR with an ankle injury. Titans cornerback L'Jarius Sneed has also been designated to go to the IR with a quad injury. He hasn't played since mid-October. Lions cornerback Enos Rakestraw Jr. with a hamstring injury. Chargers tight end Hayden Hurst is out this week with a hip injury. And Texans safety Jalen Petrie, I'm going to be monitoring this one because apparently he partially tore his pectoral. It may require season-ending surgery. We do not know that as of yet. We'll have to wait until we get some more info out on that because, as we know, usually more definite news comes out after all the games have been played, and we're still in the middle of Monday Night Football here with about 12 minutes to go in the game. As for inactives that were this week, Seahawks tight end Noah Fant with a groin injury, Broncos defensive tackle Zach Allen with a foot injury, Cardinals cornerback Max Melton had some sort of illness that kept him out. Both Cowboys guard Tyler Smith with an ankle injury and cornerback Trayvon Diggs with a knee injury did not follow the team to Washington. Giants safety Malik Neighbors and Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold with groin injuries. And then we get on to just the 49ers themselves. Quarterback Brock Purdy didn't play because of a shoulder injury. Defensive end Nick Bosa didn't play with a hip injury. Javarius Ward is still out for the personal reasons after he lost his daughter a couple weeks ago. And offensive tackle Trent Williams also didn't play this week. As for the mid-game departures, both Eagles cornerback Darius Slay and Commanders running back Austin Eckler left their games with concussion injury protocols. Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield left with a stinger injury in his shoulder. Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold apparently aggravated his foot injury from last week. Lions offensive tackle Dan Skipper did not report as eligible after an ankle injury. Panthers tight end Jatavian Sanders had a pretty scary neck injury. I'm happy to report that he still has extremities, but he's and should be okay for next week. Colts wide receiver Josh Downs with a shoulder injury. Both more 49ers defensive tackle Jordan Elliott and guard Aaron Banks with concussions. And Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins left this current contest between the Ravens and Chargers with a knee injury. As for other stuff, signings and re-signings, the Chargers have signed former Dolphins cornerback Eli Apple. And the Cardinals have... Yeah, I know, right?
Mr.
And Cardinals have given offensive tackle DJ Humphries a $4.5 million bonus after he was cleared to play coming back from the torn ACL he suffered last year. As for trades, releases, retirements, and holdouts. So, last Thursday, we were talking about how Daniel Jones is done in New York. We were dead on about that because the Giants have now released Daniel Jones, and he has now cleared waivers, making him a what's the word I'm looking for? Unrestricted free agent. I couldn't remember that word for a second. I'm sorry. So this is about 14 months removed from him signing his 4-year, $160 million contract, and the Giants are now expected to take over $20 million in dead cap because of this. So, and he is expected to clear waivers, which he already has because the Monday deadline for that has come and gone. So he wants to go to a playoff contender team.
He's not going to play.
And do
I know.
what? And do what?
No, exactly.
Carry the water bottles?
He thinks he still has a shot, and for some reason, the front runners to land him are the Bills, Ravens, and Vikings. Apparently,
I mean, I guess you could join a team, get a ring real quick, and just chill.
I mean, maybe just get one out on the sidelines like Blaine Gabbard's been getting with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens with that because it'll be hilarious. Whatever team signs him is going to be hilarious. I already know it. It'd be funny if the Raiders just pick him up because Desmond Ridder or Aiden O'Connell just suck so bad on Black Friday. As for other stuff, the Vikings have released a pretty standout sophomore cornerback Caleb Evans, surprisingly. The Dolphins are waiving offensive tackle Lester Cotton. And also this report came out saying that the Dolphins were very close to trading linebacker Calais Campbell to the Ravens, which had been a reunion for the two, before head coach Mike McDaniel nixed the trade, believing he was too valuable a piece to trade away. Ooh. As for miscellaneous news, the Chargers are still fighting in their game tonight against the Ravens, but they have had their Week 16 matchup versus the Broncos flexed from Saturday, December 22nd to Thursday. The Browns and Bengals are going to be taking over that spot. Rams wide receiver Demarcus Robinson was arrested this morning on DUI charges by California Highway Police. We had two... I mean, I could care less about field storming, but do it when the game is actually over because we had two premature field storming events that occurred in college games that resulted in some serious delays. The first occurred in the Arizona State BYU game where fans stormed the field with 13 seconds left, knocking over the goalposts and causing a 15-minute delay, while the second happened during that Oklahoma-Alabama game while they still had a half a minute left. So, yeah, like I said, guys,
half a minute?
Yeah,
what?
Do not charge the field. Do not charge the field while there's still time left on the clock.
God,
it's not a hard thing to do. Y'all are in college. You should know better than this.
Well, apparently they're not getting a good education. Jesus.
Clearly not.
Well, I mean, the score was 28-3, or like it was over. Just fucking.
You're talking about education and Arizona State in the same sentence. Doesn't mix.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
Very true.
That is a fair point.
Fair point.
And finally, I feel like we'd be remiss if I didn't mention for the second straight KDUF news in a row, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley, because holy shit, that game he had last night against the Commanders, setting multiple records. 255 rushing yards.
The Rams?
Rams, sorry. 255 rushing yards and 302 scrimmage yards, setting franchise single-game records. He became the third player in NFL history to record 500 scrimmage yards, joining Walter Payton and Ollie Matson in that category, and is the sixth running back in NFL history to record multiple 70-yard rushing touchdowns or more in a game, joining company like Maurice Jones-Drew, Frank Gore, and the all-time great Barry Sanders. That's all I got.
MVP.
Also, did you talk much last week about the whole Aaron Rodgers situation still like unraveling?
Or him running the team?
Yeah, there's been some stuff about that. I think we might want to save for the Jets game this week, so
I guess
we'll get to that.
Why are we going to start with this? We start with the Bears every fucking time.
Rip the Band-Aid off, Mamba. Rip it off.
Because it organizes by, I guess, like one of the teams and B, I guess, or C, I don't know.
Fucking hell. I'm ripping my dick off after this. No, I'm kidding.
Yo!
What the fuck? Or organizes by the time that they finish or something, or like their time start and some other stuff.
That wouldn't make sense because this game went to overtime.
Yeah,
Bears
what I mean is...
The Bears look very phenomenal in these old throwback uniforms. I think they're a solid throwback that does pay a good amount of homage to the team back in the day without looking absolutely horrible. However, they looked good and they felt good, but they didn't play.
They looked horrible on the field.
They didn't look horrible. They lost the game by 3 points to a Vikings team who's very strong, albeit they are suffering this kind of mid to late season kind of slump, but they're still winning games, obviously, so who cares?
Offense is much better.
Yep, 30-27 is the final score. The Vikings get the win in Soldier Field by 3 points against the division rival Chicago Bears. Sam Darnold, 22 for 34 for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 3 sacks. A very efficient and profitable day for him there. On the ground, Aaron Jones, 22 for 106 and a touchdown, and Cam Akers, 3 for 19. 124 rush yards and 27 carries and a touchdown for the Vikings. Receiving, Addison 8 for 162 and a touchdown, while Hawkinson had 7 for 114. Justin Jefferson 2 for 27. Aaron Jones 3 for 23. Kobe went 1 for 7 and Cam Akers 1 for 6. Moving on to the Bears. Caleb Williams 32 for 47 for 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 3 sacks. Another great performance from him. If this team is doing much better, I think he would be in the probably the MVP, not MVP, sorry, the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversations. He's looked very, very solid. He's not forcing things. I think he's doing a great job. It's just, obviously there's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of pieces missing in Chicago. So hopefully he can continue this into next year. For the rushing department, he also led the way, 6 for 33. DeAndre Swift, 13 for 30. DJ Moore, 1 for 13. And Rashawn Johnson, 2 for 2 and a touchdown. Receiving-wise, DJ Moore, 7 for 106 and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 9 for 86 and a touchdown. Cole Kmet, 7 for 64. Romo Dunze, 5 for 39. DeAndre Swift, 3 for 35. And Rashawn Johnson, 1 for 10. Again, I mean, the Bears, back-to-back weeks against really tough division opponents in the toughest division in football this year, without a doubt, have played very, very good football, but, they have played 98% of a winning football game, and that last 2% hurts. Last week against the Packers, obviously the blocked kick really caused them some hurt here, and in this game, some fumbles really came up bad for them.
We did come back in the fourth, very last second.
Yeah, you did kind of redeem yourselves on that onside kick, I'll admit.
Oh yeah.
Also, that the defense is starting to let them down because you're scoring.
This was an overtime game. The Vikings were able to drive down the field and force a field goal late in the game that got them into overtime. And then in the overtime period, the Bears got the ball first, couldn't do anything with it, gave it to the Vikings. Vikings drove down the field, kicked a field goal, and won the game. Again, playing 98% of a game, winning football, that last 2% kills you. As Vince Lombardi once said, which is kind of poetic, bringing it up with two NFC North teams, that perfection isn't everything, but the pursuit of it is. So, again, as a Bears fan, obviously it's a little demoralizing, but at the same time, it shouldn't be crushing.
No, it definitely isn't crushing, but it still sucks.
The offense is looking better and better, and you obviously got rid of a problem with the whole situation with the offensive coordinator.
Waldron.
Yeah, Waldron's gone, so now this is going a lot better in the offensive side of things. So at least that you got that going for you, and so your defense just has to catch up a little bit. But hey, you're gonna get a decently high draft pick. It seems like. I mean, 4-7 isn't the worst in the league, but it sure ain't the best. So you're gonna get a decently high draft pick, and then you're gonna be able to go in and keep building. Another blocked
hopefully
field goal.
Build some line. Build up the line. Hopefully, goddamn.
Will Campbell should be a target. He should be the number one guy on your list, and I think you might be able to get him, especially with the amount of like.
It's a possibility, and oh my God, their Ravens are going on a run.
Yep.
Justice Hill, touchdown.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Oh my.
Let's see. Well, at least there's one. Yeah. Also, the Bears. You're actually developing a QB. What the fuck? Is that actually possible?
Yeah, I mean, all it took to develop him was get rid of Shane Waldron.
Yeah, the guy you brought in to develop him.
Yeah, apparently. But I mean, we knew he was good. It's just more of like the Bears just not good at developing. Like,
also, at this point, I would consider firing your special teams coordinator because this is the second straight week where multiple field goals have been blocked and there have been bad punt coverages and stuff. You want to talk about
firing a special teams coordinator? Wait until we get to the Commanders Cowboys game.
Oh, okay. That was. I mean, yeah. So, obviously, but again, this isn't doom and gloom for the Bears. This is a rebuild, and this is a very good step in the right direction. It's just not as big of a step as you would have wanted. But again, so long as you can keep most everyone on this roster and continue to build through the draft and maybe through some offseason signings, who knows? Sky's the limit. But this is a very tough division, especially this year with the Vikings coming out of left field. And for the Vikings, obviously the Bears aren't an easy team to push over, but at the same time, this kind of like start to the season very good, and then all of a sudden it starts to like kind of waver a little bit. You need to start changing course and really look like, you know, the team that was in charge of this division for a while. I mean, heck, you're 9-2. Detroit's 10-1. You're basically like right in there, and you have a chance to win this division. So like you need to like get things back on track where they were in the early season, so you can still try to compete and look like a Super Bowl favorite. Because honestly, I don't know if there's many 9-2 teams in football coming into Week 12 that are not considered. Or Week 13 that aren't considered like a Super Bowl favorite of some caliber.
This happens to definitely consider a lot. They go like they're really strong early in the season, and then they just get gassed.
And they fade away.
They just get out.
This is a team that looks like a Super Bowl favorite, like 10 games of the season. Then the other 10, it depends on whether or not they keep that up, or they just completely flounder and miss the playoffs.
I wonder what they're going to do.
If they keep that up and actually make the playoffs, they usually get eliminated early.
I wonder what they're going to do with their rookie quarterback if Sam Darnold's like playing this good.
JJ McCarthy probably have him learn behind it for a little bit.
I
mean, it's kind of like the situation you got with like
Jordan Love.
Yeah, to that, but also you could look at it from the Trey Lance, Brock Purdy perspective. Because yes, Sam Darnold's been in the league a while, but at the same time, like this is basically like a brand new Sam Darnold. The Sam Darnold on the Vikings and the Sam Darnold on the Jets are two very fucking different people, as we've seen.
Yeah.
So it's like you're starting new, and also Sam Darnold's younger than Joe Burrow, so it's not like you've got an old aging guy like Aaron Rodgers and you have Jordan Love behind him. You got two.
Yeah,
young
he definitely
guys.
left the ghosts in the mono back in New York with him.
Yeah, he did. So yeah.
Well, I would say this about the Vikings too. How many of literally none of us expected them to have this winning record after the
not
injury
really.
to Drake May
I expected it to be okay, but not like this level of good.
Right. But now you're in the situation where like you need to do something with it. You are 9-2 going into Week 13, and if you're a first round bump in the playoffs, you have nothing to show for it. Like, yeah, good season. Whoop do you fucking do? You have like what, the 24th pick in the draft?
Something like that. Let me see. PFF reports.
Like that's not.
They picked 28th.
It's still a first round draft pick, but like by that point, there's a lot of like obviously a lot of the big like this guy is a bona fide star. They're gone, you know. So, and then you have that tough decision to make. Like, do you go with JJ McCarthy or do you stay with Darnold?
You mean? Oh yeah, JJ McCarthy. That's right. I was thinking someone else, but they could be first round knockouts just because there could be a wildcard team in that hunt that's still good. It's not like the NFC wildcard teams are bad. You're not having a team that's 8-9 or 9-8 getting in. It's probably
right.
Like at least between a 10-12 win team.
Yeah. But I mean, we're obviously doom and glooming the Vikings a little bit here. They're still winning games at the very least, and that's all that matters is to win.
Right.
So
I mean, it's not hard to beat the Bears, if I'm honest.
They're a lot better
No,
than
that
you give them credit.
They're a lot
Yeah.
better, but still.
I
the
mean, a
NFC
win's a
North
win for
is
the
very
Vikings.
good,
I'd take it if
so-
I were a fan of them.
But let's go ahead and look where stuff kind of fell apart for the Bears. Obviously, coming into what the
Their
hell is
defense.
this? No, but good final drive. They got down here. They gave a very makeable field goal. There goes Santos. Almost shanked it, but made it. Then, after that,
Go to OT.
you go to OT. Here's the first drive. Bears got the ball. You want the ball because if you score a touchdown, it's over. So they're lining up. 2nd and 9.
They're holding.
Has
Wow.
tons of time.
So much holding.
Regardless
Jesus.
of holding, tons of time.
And then it gets
still
sacked.
takes a sack, which you can't do there. Now, in overtime, where if you give the ball back to the Vikings, you're screwed because they can just kick a field goal. It's 3rd and a nautical mile. And you
3rd
have
and
to throw,
Jesus.
and you throw a check down, and you have to punt because if you turn the ball over in this distance, it's an automatic field goal. So you punt the ball away, and then you trust your defense to get out in the field, and then they let this happen. Well, not this.
Well,
Bad example.
Bad timing.
Bad timing.
Okay,
3rd and
they
10.
let
They force a
this
3rd and 10.
happen.
They get there, and then they let an out route go out there to Addison. He gets a first down, and they just start marching down the field.
Just keep a trickling the
False
ball
start
down the
penalty.
field, boys.
And look at that.
And
Justin
still
Jefferson
going.
almost to the 50-yard line.
He and Addison are scary on this offense.
Addison's a lot better than people give him credit for. Yeah, he's done very well in this offense. Looks very good.
Mm-hmm.
2nd 11, Darnold across the middle to Hawkinson, who they love having back. Now they're
Yep.
at the 40, debatably in somewhat of a field goal range for maybe like a Jake Bates or a Justin Tucker.
So they gave up that much space to Hawkinson when they just needed
They're sagging
some
off
yardage.
so much. It seems like they're trying to prevent a touchdown, and they're not playing underneath.
And then there goes
But then
Hawkinson
they're still in an
again.
open spot. Hawkinson all the way down to what seems like the 20-yard line. Now it's a chip shot. This is almost, I think that's shorter than an
And
extra point.
right through the upright.
Yep.
Yep.
And the Vikings
Also-
win.
Prevent defense prevents wins.
Yep.
All right. And we'll move on from that. Next, we have Lions and the Colts. Colts were wearing their, I don't know what they call these uniforms, but they're not.
Yeah, what are these?
They're not horrible, but they're not great. It's kind of just like this.
I
middle ground.
I just
I
haven't
don't
seen
like
these
the
before. I
helmets.
can't tell what's going on.
Yeah.
The helmets are bad.
I think it would honestly look better if the helmets were like blue. Like you just had an all blue
Oh, it's-
uniform, kind of like a color rush.
Oh, it's
style.
black with the logo. With that,
Yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
little weird.
No, just make the helmet white. That would actually make it look so much better.
Almost like someone took Falcons uniforms and just like replaced the red with like blue. Just the
Blue,
helmets.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this was obviously a big game for Anthony Richardson. He had to come back from 3 weeks ago now, being like, tapping himself out of a game, saying I'm too tired. Now he's coming off his new start last week where he got a win and played well. He went 11 for 28 for 172, no touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. So not the most efficient day passing, but he also ran 61 yards on 10 carries, and Jonathan Taylor 11 carries for 35 yards. For the Lions, Jared Goff, 26 for 36 for 269 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 3 sacks. Rushing for Detroit, Jamar Gibbs, 21 for 90 and 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery, 8 for 37 and a touchdown. Detroit's receiving,
Jameer Gibbs.
Or Jameer Gibbs, sorry. Detroit's receiving, Jameson Williams, 5 for 64. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 for 62. Tim Patrick, 4 for 55. Montgomery, 3 for 36. Brock Wright, 2 for 24. Sam Laporta, 3 for 19. And Jameer Gibbs, 3 for 9. For Indianapolis' receiving column, Pittman, 6 for 96. Alec Pierce, 1 for 39. Downs, 3 for 27. Adonai Mitchell, 1 for 10. This game...
Oh, that's big pass interference there.
This game
They
obviously
picked up the
was
flag.
a tale of two different teams and very different aspects of it. Anthony Richardson had a decent game, but again, wasn't the most efficient with passing. I think that's his biggest issue is that he's not the most accurate with the ball sometimes. But I think the biggest part of this game was that Dan Campbell and the Lions kept the ball out of Richardson's hands a lot. The time of possession was 37 minutes and 1 second for the Lions and only 22 minutes for the Colts. That's a 15-minute separation. So, yeah, I mean, it was just, they were playing keep away. They never let up a touchdown. The Colts only scored in the first half. The Lions now have not allowed a touchdown in the last 10 quarters of football consecutively. There's not been a touchdown against the Lions in the last 10 quarters of football games that they've played.
Damn.
I know a couple of teams were bad that they faced against, but they just haven't let up. As they know,
No,
even when
that's the other
Detroit's
thing. They're
been
not
up a
playing
lot.
down. This is the sign of a good team, is that, and even more importantly, a very good coach, that you don't play down to competition. You don't come out week 1 against the New England Patriots and drop an egg at home. Zach Taylor. You have a coach that can motivate your guys. I mean, Nick Saban talked about this on College Game Day. He always had to motivate a lot of his players when they were playing like a Vandy or an Auburn when they were struggling. You know, they had to motivate them and be like, hey, you guys need to come and show up. These guys are still athletes and can still play football. Dan Campbell's getting these guys out, and they're beating the tar out of organizations that are struggling to even like beat other struggling organizations. So that is the sign of a good team and a good coach. And the Lions, I feel like, are the favorite, if not one of the highest favorites for the Super Bowl this year. Not much else to say about them. They had a very efficient game. Again, Jared Goff, after that really bad interception game he had a while ago, is now playing much better again. And I think they call them Sonic and Knuckles, their backfield between Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yes, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, they're a dual-headed snake. Out of
it was funny too. It was funny too. Jared Goff with those 5 interceptions that game, they still won.
They did, yeah, because the Texans don't know what the fuck to do with a lead, as we'll see later. As for the Colts, this is a tough team to play, and I wouldn't hang your head too low. Richardson took care of the ball, didn't fumble.
No picks.
Well, he didn't lose a fumble. The fumble did happen, but he didn't lose it. Didn't throw picks, but also he didn't run or pass for a touchdown. This Lions defense is just a bulwark. So,
what happened to my camera? The fuck?
Well, your camera froze too.
Yours now? Jesus.
Goodness.
Oh God.
Okay, bye.
Oh, nice.
Okay, hi.
Maybe.
It's something with NVIDIA broadcast, I think, because I had to throw my green screen on Discord. And I haven't had a problem since.
Huh.
Someone's was complaining about and someone else was apparently complaining about, but
Crazy.
On the
A
Reddit
new update
threads,
that's kind of been breaking it recently, or
maybe.
But
it sounds like
anyway,
something NVIDIA would do.
The Detroit Lions are obviously 10-1. They're in firm position to do what they need to do to be able to have the top seed in the NFC. And then for the Indianapolis Colts, it's not the best. They're 5-7, second in the AFC South, but that's not really going to get them much because the playoff picture is kind of holding them out of it a little bit. They are in it right now, but I don't know if they'll be able to stay if they continue to play to this level. Not much else to say about this game. Let's move on to the next. Oh boy,
do we have to? Like we already know how this is going to go. Like the Patriots lose, Dolphins kick our ass. We haven't won in Miami since 2019.
Damn. There we go. Something's screwing up with all of our technology today. All right,
I've done fine.
Yeah, knock on wood. Patriots and Dolphins, 15-34 the final score. Once again, the Dolphins with Tua look like a much better team, obviously. For the New England Patriots, Drake May, 22 for 37 for 222 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 4 sacks. Rushing, Antonio Gibson, 6 for 31. Drake May, 5 for 26. Jermichael Hasty, 1 for 15. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 for 13. And Demario Douglas, 1 for 1. Receiving, Demario Douglas, 5 for 62. Austin Hooper, 4 for 59 and a touchdown. Hunter Henry, 5 for 44. Kendrick Bourne, 3 for 30. Antonio Gibson, 1 for 14. Jalen Polk, 1 for 7. Keyshawn Butte, 1 for 6. Then for the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, 29 for 40 for 317, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. A great day for him. Rushing, Devon Akane, 10 for 32. Jalen Wright, 7 for 28. And Raheem Mostert, 2 for 5. Receiving, Jalen Waddle, 8 for 144 and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith continued to have a great stretch of games. There was a doink there. 9 for 87 and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 5 for 48. Devon Akane, 3 for 24 and 2 touchdowns. Durham Smythe, 1 for 8. Julian Hill, 1 for 8. And Malik Washington, 1 for 1. Again, this Dolphins team, I feel like can be somewhat of a dark horse. They're 5-6. We'll look at the standings later to see where they are playoff-wise. But if they have Tua, this team, I feel like they can kind of compete with anybody offensively. Defensively, it's a different story. Their defense tends to struggle.
Offensively, definitely. So.
Yeah, but their offense is just, I mean, it's the Dolphins.
I could see them being,
it's like,
I could see them being a dark horse for maybe the 7th seed. That's if their defense holds up, but
this is just like the Dan Marino days, I feel like. Their offense is just an absolute powerhouse, and their defense is like...
yeah.
But obviously a lot of this hinges on the health of Tua Tagovailoa, and one wrong knee to the head could end his season, let alone his career. So hopefully he continues to stay safe.
Hopefully not his life.
Yeah.
Head into the grass.
Yeah. Also, Mama, your camera's frozen again.
Bro! I swear to God.
Sounds like this. I'm glad I run a shitty old computer that does not have NVIDIA broadcast.
Yeah, something's up with the video broadcast. I don't know what it's doing.
I mean, Dolphins has a decent schedule to do something, but they have to deal with it when the Ravens trying to win, Chargers, and Denver in the wild card hunt.
Yeah. The Dolphins' remaining schedule is at Green Bay, which I don't think they'll win that. They'll be playing the Jets, who I think they'll beat. Houston's a toss-up. They probably will beat San Francisco, depending on the injury status, then at Cleveland and at the Jets, which is the last 2 games they can win. So they're probably going to go in those last, 6 games. I could see them going, 3-3. Maybe they will go 4-2.
4-2.
They'll 4-2 put them at 9-8. So they're either going to finish just above 500 or just below 500. So sometimes teams like that can sneak in. We'll have to see. We will have to see. For the Patriots, 3-9, not the greatest thing in the world. Yeah.
On the plus side, this does help for the tank for Travis Hunter. We are back up a couple spots in the first round. There were a couple bright spots, though. I think, there were a couple bright spots. We got Christian Gonzalez had a nice fumble recovery for a touchdown. We're getting Jabril Peppers back after he was reinstated, despite the fact he's a fucking idiot off the field. But, I'm still optimistic about how the rest of the season's going to go.
Is that who you would want, though, if you get the number 1 overall pick and you have the choice of anybody? You want a Travis Hunter over a Aston Genty or a Will Campbell or whoever?
There are
Hunter's
a bunch of tackles and guards we can get later on in the draft. But the thing about Hunter is that we kind of need both help as in the both wide receiver and secondary categories. Yes, Gonzalez is happy.
Are you going
to
play him both ways?
He wants to play both ways. He's expressed how he wants to see if he can play both ways when he goes to the NFL. And
my goodness.
I think the Patriots will let him do it.
If he keeps up his recovery regimen then yeah. Actually, there was a video I saw recently of his how he does recovery. It was on Destroyan's YouTube channel, but his recovery regimen is kind of insane to allow him to play both ways. Yeah. And he doesn't practice at all. They just let him not practice.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that affects team chemistry though. It's a little rough, but we'll have to see. Anyway,
we do have one that's somewhat two-way player to Marcus Jones already, so maybe having a dual threat in that category could kind of help and give us an edge in some regard.
I guarantee you the fullback that's also a defensive tackle for the Chargers plays both ways, and Harbaugh makes him practice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, and he's probably not doing as much running as Travis Hunter, though.
Yeah, probably not.
That's true, yeah.
I said we're running trap out of Power Eye again.
Run it again.
All right. Move on from that game. A tough situation for the Patriots.
You don't blow up that goddamn defensive tackle, I'm going to lose my shit.
At least you're not the Giants.
As I predicted, ladies and gentlemen, as I predicted.
You said Tommy DeVito was going to win it.
What? Wrong button. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I wanted DeVito, man.
As I predicted, Tommy DeVito got fucking killed on live television. I didn't predict that.
Yeah. I was about to say.
Just like The Sopranos all over again.
30-7, the final score. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers walk all over the Giants in the Big Apple. Tommy DeVito, in his first start this season, goes down. He went.
Can we fast forward to that Baker Mayfield celebration where DeVito just got so much flack?
Wait, what?
It was happening late second. That's the one. Yep.
So we watch here. Baker Mayfield, collapsing pocket, takes off, running down the field, jumps, gets spiked to the ground. Obviously, he's a tough guy.
They counted us down, so
they counted us down. the second the ball
Yeah.
breaks the plane, he's down anyway. And then he just hits that.
There we go.
The classic Italian and just overdoing it. And he said it wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't intended to be disrespectful. Baker Mayfield.
Kinda is, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's Baker. Come on, he planted that flag.
So,
During...
All of Little Italy was in an uproar about it.
30-7
Just
final
let Baker
score.
bake.
The Buccaneers went crazy on the Giants. Tommy DeVito for the Giants, 21 for 31 for 189, no touchdowns, no picks, 4 sacks. Didn't throw the ball away to the opponent that much, so gotta hand it to him there, but obviously not a great game. Rushing, Tyron Tracy, 9 for 42, Tommy DeVito, 7 for 32, Devin Singletary, 2 for 3 and a touchdown. Receiving, Malik Neighbors, 6 for 64, Wan'Dale Robinson, 5 for 47, Theo Johnson, 3 for 39, Tyron Tracy, 4 for 28, and Devin Singletary, 2 for 7. For the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, 24 for 30 for 294 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, but he also ran for 4 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. 4 touchdowns were scored by the Buccaneers, all of which on the ground. Bucky Irving, 12 for 87 and a touchdown. Raquan White, 12 for 37 and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield, 4 for 9 and a touchdown. And Sean Tucker, 4 for 3 and a touchdown. Receiving, Mike Evans, 5 for 68. Bucky Irving, 6 for 64. K. Dotton, 1 for 30. Raheem Jarrett, 1 for 30. Payne Durham, 1 for 26. Trey Palmer, 1 for 8. Sterling Shepard, 5 for 16. Ryan Miller, 1 for 14. Jalen McMillan, 1 for 11. Raquan White, 1 for 10. And Sean Tucker, 1 for 7.
A lot of big pieces by a lot of people.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield was dishing the ball to anyone and everyone, and they ran all over the Giants. I think when it comes to the Giants, they have the scariest, probably I would say the scariest single man since Aaron Donald at defensive tackle. That big man right there, big sexy Dexy. However,
Sexy Dexy.
there's only one of him, and what you can do is just run away from his side of the line of scrimmage because his counterparts in the defensive line, besides Keon Thibodeau, are not much of a threat. So that was the biggest problem. 156 rush yards and 294 passing yards for the Buccaneers offense. The Giants defense couldn't hold a candle to them. And then the flip side, their offense could get nothing going. Tommy DeVito didn't have a bad day, but it was a lot of short routes and checkdowns, and just the offense just kind of just started to drive and then sputtered. Only amassing 1 touchdown, which was a short run by Devin Singletary. So not much that they could do. It's kind of a doom and gloom situation now in New York. They're 2-9. They're probably going to secure one of the top 4 or 5 draft picks because they're not going to win many more games. I believe they have some division games coming up. Why does it keep?
Yes. Hold on, I'll look up with the Giants.
Yeah, Dallas, New Orleans, Baltimore, Atlanta, Indy, Philly. I only think the games that they could win on that. Indy, they could possibly win, and Dallas, they could possibly win, depending on how Dallas plays. But obviously, as we'll see later, Dallas, even without Dak Prescott, sometimes can look a little bit better. So, but again, I don't think they'll win against New Orleans. Baltimore is going to kick out of them unless Kirk Cousins plays horrible. Atlanta will kick him, and then Philly will probably either kill them or not care at that point in the season, just let them win.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here.
This is what happens when you had Gettleman as your GM for a couple years. Good job, Giants.
Yep.
You make me laugh.
It's been
and
2 years removed, and we're still mocking them for all the Gettleman picks.
And hey, good job by the Buccaneers not playing under competition and going out there and doing what needed to be done.
Speaking of picks for the Giants, they go quarterback. Which one do you see them taking? There's Ward, Sanders, and Milroe all in the conversation at the top.
Possibly also Ewers and Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart, really?
Jackson
I mean,
Dart
I know he's had a good season, but I don't know if his stock's that high to warrant him being taken
Yeah, I don't know if he's that
second or
I'm
third
I'm just
overall.
listing everybody. I mean, with their style of offense, Shador definitely looks solid. I just don't know.
Yo,
the NFL solid though.
The Giants are if the season were to end, the Giants would be the number 1 pick.
Right now?
Yes.
Even over teams like the Jaguars?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Jaguar is, I think it's because the strength, it goes by strength of schedule after that.
Oh, yeah. That's a thought.
I think if they get the number 1 overall pick, they'll be in a tough situation because the best player in the draft is, depending on how you feel, it's either Ashton Genty or Travis Hunter. I don't think they need a running back. I mean, well, they need everything, but at the same time, I don't think you prioritize a running back. Yeah, they need most everything besides a defensive tackle. So I don't know if you can prioritize a running back and skill player like Travis Hunter over a quarterback, which is like carries most of the load for your team.
Especially if you're taking it first overall. Not to say that Ashton Jeanty is bad in any regard, but I can never see in this day and age of running back being taken first overall.
Yeah.
The way it's been going,
Yeah,
running backs are getting a little bit more respect, especially after the season.
There is, but it's just a me thing. I could see them definitely go in with a piece like Sanders or Hunter, maybe, but not Jeanty.
Yeah.
Also, like, who do Giants have for QBs right now?
Right now, it's
DeVito.
Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim Boyle.
So yeah, I feel like they're going to go with Shedeur
Yeah.
Sanders, who looks like the most developed prospect out of all of them. I think Jalen Milroe is definitely very raw, but he has vibes of Cam Newton, which can be very scary. I could also see Quinn Ewers doing something, but we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, good win by the Buccaneers there. So we'll go ahead and move on to the most chaotic fucking game this week. I think
Could have. Which game,
dude?
Yeah, we'll do
Washington,
it.
Dallas.
We'll do this one and then go to
skip ahead. No, I didn't. Nope. We're in the right order. Yeah. Yeah. Holy cannoli.
Yeah. Washington.
What are you pressing?
What are
Not
you
pressing
doing?
Everything. I'm just swapping over to the ESPN stats, and it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
You're breaking it.
Why
Your
is it
mother.
not- Oh my god.
Your mother.
this is what happens when we do on a Monday.
So
Nope,
true.
It's not that. There it is.
Pop's
Okay.
computer right now.
Here we go.
There we go. So, everyone kind of expected the Commanders to come in and win this game. They were leading the NFC East for a while before the Philadelphia Eagles started to catch fire. So they're now in second place, and the Dallas is firmly behind them at 4-6 entering the day. Or sorry, 3-6, 3-7 entering the day. Sorry.
Yeah. I have to ask, Washington, are you okay? I mean, this is a pretty depleted Cowboys roster.
Maybe they underestimated him. Maybe they didn't prepare as well. Maybe the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys still have some talent, obviously. Like Micah Parsons is still a
Both, but
dog.
if there's one thing I can definitely talk about is probably just how shit their special teams got. We'll go through stats and then probably skip ahead because it happened late in the game.
34-26
And
was the final score. There was holy shit. In the fourth quarter, the Cowboys scored 24 points and the Washington Commanders scored 17. It was the highest scoring fourth quarter in NFL history.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
There was
I guess so.
27
know
plus
that.
16 is 41 points scored in a one quarter.
Damn.
That's 20. So it was
41
27
points combined is
24 and 17.
Oh, 24. I thought you said 27.
No,
And
24 and 17.
17.
Yes. The Cowboys won the game 34-26 on the back of a amazing comeback victory. Cooper rushed 24 for 32 for 247, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 1 sack. Rushing, Rico Dwaddle 19 for 86. He was the best rusher. Ezekiel Elliott 3 carries 6 yards. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb 10 for 67, Luke Schoonmaker 3 for 55 and a touchdown. Jalen Brooks 1 for 4. Brevin Spanford 2 for 24. Jalen Tolbert 2 for 22 and a touchdown. Rico Dwaddle 3 for 12. Hunter Lipke 1 for 10. It was a bad day in the kicking department for the breakout star Brandon Aubrey from 2 years ago in the XFL. He went 2 for 4 on field goals. Was 4 for 4 for extra points though. He had 1 blocked, and obviously that one there missed, but was able to come back in later stages of the game. So good for him to continue to fight through some of the inconsistency and his coaches in relying on him. For the Commanders, Jalen Daniels 25 for 38 for 275, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 4 sacks. Rushing, he led the way 7 for 74 and a touchdown. Jeremy McNichols 3 for 22, Austin Eckler 9 for 22. Damani Brown 1 for 14, and Brian Robinson Jr. 5 for 13. Receiving, Terry McLaurin 5 for 102 and a touchdown. Noah Brown 6 for 71. Zach Ertz 6 for 38 and a touchdown. Damari Brown 2 for 22. Josh Bates 1 for 13. Brad Robinson 1 for 11. Olamide Zaccheaus 1 for 8. Luke McCaffrey with relation 1 for 8. And Austin Eckler 2 for 2. This game came down to very late. Crazy stuff happened. We're just going to skip to that point in the game, basically. It was. We just need to look at the whole fourth quarter, honestly.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's do it.
So
kind of.
it was 10-9 going into the fourth quarter. Okay, let me actually like exit full screen so you can kind of see this. It was 10-9 going to the fourth quarter, right?
Yep.
Then the Cowboys drove down the field. It's 3rd and 14 setup. Cooper Rush steps back, throws a drop-off pass, and he gets to the 30. All right. They trot off their kicker onto the field. It's a 48-yard attempt, and he nails it. All right. Then the Commanders get the ball. They go down the field. It's 13-9 now, and they end up, I believe, fumbling it here. Yes, they do.
Yep.
That was a fumble by John Bates. Give it back to the Cowboys. The Cowboys then rush down the field. And then a thrown pass to Schoonmaker gets a touchdown to the back of the end zone. So now it's 20-9. Commanders then drive down the field. They're going down, good play after good play, slowly driving. They get down close to the end zone, and bam, touchdown to the back of the end zone to Zach Ertz. So now,
Very nice.
2-point attempt is good by Jaden Daniels. So now it's 20-17. Then this
punt.
kickoff goes here, and it's muffed. Oh, what do? You
Completely
hit a dumbass spin move, and all of a sudden break through the entire line of scrimmage for the block, or the entire blocking line.
He gets a block there. He could go all the way. Boom! Touchdown.
Kickoff return for touchdown by
Turpin.
Kevontae Turpin. So you're like, oh, what are the Commanders
they answer with a nice run here by Daniels.
Yep, running.
They're still
down
going.
the field.
Jesus.
27-17, right? Keeps going down the field. They keep driving. 51-yard attempt.
And we have this kick by Siebert that just makes it in.
Now you give the ball back to the Cowboys. You still have some time. There's 1:21 left. You have to kick the ball back to them.
Now, this craziness.
Now, this
big
is where
throw.
Like, oh, my goodness.
Scary Terry, bitch.
Scary Terry runs all the way down into the end zone.
I contribute that run for my win over Mamba this week.
Yeah. And now you look at that and you're like, what is going on?
Like,
you look at Dan Quinn
now
here.
now they got a chance to get into this.
They just scored 6. It's 27-26 now, and Dan Campbell's like, we're going to go for the 1 and possibly force overtime here. I trust my defense.
Now it's a nice chip shot here for the extra point. Let's see them do
Campbell.
No, sorry, no.
Let's see them get this nice, easy chip shot extra point here.
Yeah.
Chip shot
and
Siebert's
and wide left.
Fucked it. You do it.
And then they go for an outside kick. Not worst bounce possible, and it just gets run back. Game
right
basically over.
Game over. 14 seconds left. That is how that game went. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that's why I say their special teams needs a serious overhaul. For
boy,
next
was it
season.
stupid is very true. This game was an absolute slugfest when it hit to the fourth quarter. It's like a UFC fight, and you see the guys constantly like jabbing and like dancing around each other. Then one of them points to the ground, and they just fight in a phone booth for the last like round. That's what this was. I mean, for the Commanders, you have to be disappointed fighting losing to a Dallas Cowboys team that, is missing their starting quarterback. Is playing Cooper
this
Rush.
was the Taylor Serrano fight, and the Commanders were the Serrano fans.
Yeah. Then for the Cowboys, I don't know if you feel happy. Like, I don't think you're making the playoffs, and you get a win, which means a higher or lower draft pick. So I mean, like, yeah, it's a good win.
You get a little bit of payback for Dan Quinn's departure, but other than that, there's not really much that should take from this win. Except
it's not a win because that means Mike McCarthy might stay a little while.
No.
True. There's actually now been a no thing because you know how we said it might not happen last year when we were talking about Mike McCarthy's replacements? Because if they don't land Deion Sanders, Belichick is now being possibly tapped.
He will not do well with Jerry Jones. I'm sorry.
No.
Which I don't know. I mean, Jerry Jones might be looking
for, like,
to
Saleh or Vrabel. They're gonna,
No, Jerry Jones trying to get a yes man.
Yeah, probably.
Jeff Saturday incoming.
Do it,
Yeah.
please. I want to laugh at the Cowboys
so
even
funny.
more.
Even better.
Coach, though,
Even better. Adam
Wow.
Gase.
Adam Gase.
So
So yeah, the special teams in this game were horrible from both sides. They had good moments and bad moments, obviously, but I don't think either team won this game. Obviously, the Cowboys won and scored, but did you really want to win a game against the Commanders when your season's basically over? And then for the Commanders, if you want to have aspect of anything as far as playoff success, you need to be able to be more consistent than this because you're starting to falter off in this latter part of the season. And it's not because you're a young team. You have some of the greatest players from 5 years ago: Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner.
It's a 2018 Pro Bowl team.
Yeah, you're a 2018 Pro Bowl team, so you have veterancy, and these guys need to be obviously trying to get this team to stop sucking late in the season. So hopefully that happens. Also, a 2 interception day does not bode well for Jaden Daniels' offensive rookie of the year standings. But
Chargers on the goal line.
Do you think that injury is still affecting him?
Possibly. He has looked down since the injury happened, so it could be a possibility. I don't know. But yeah, this game was just pure chaos. And then, speaking of chaos,
why was this?
It almost happened. It almost
close?
happened. I was about to be correct, but Carolina just fucked it up. Well, I don't know.
I was watching the game. What game? Oh, we're on the Chiefs Panthers now.
Yep.
Why is it?
We were so close to comedy greatness, but
It would have been so great. I mean,
Yeah.
the Panthers should hold their head up high on this one because
yeah, taking the Super Bowl champs to task like this, I mean, that's something to smile about, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, 30-27 the final score from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Kansas City Chiefs get the win by 3. Patrick Mahomes 27 for 37 for 269, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 5 sacks. Kareem Hunt rushing 16 for 68. Patrick Mahomes 5 for 60. McCall Hardman 2 for 15, and Samaje Perine 1 for 13. Receiving, Noah Gray 4 for 60, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce 6 for 62. Xavier Worthy 4 for 46. DeAndre Hopkins 5 for 35 and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt 3 for 19. Justin Watson 1 for 15. Samaje Perine 2 for 11. Carson Steele 1 for 9, and Juju Smith-Schuster 1 for 6. Was he on this team to start the season?
Yeah,
He was?
we released him and they picked him up.
Again?
What do you mean again?
I thought, wasn't he on the team last year during the Super Bowl? Juju?
Yeah,
No, he was
he was
with us
on-
last year.
Oh, so he won
Oh,
the first
yeah,
Super
that's
Bowl,
right.
then went to the Patriots, and now is back on the.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little confusing, I know.
Yeah. TikTok boy.
Yeah.
For the Panthers, Bryce Young 21 for 35 for 263, 1 touchdown, no picks, 2 sacks. A good game from Bryce Young. Some promise here. Chuba Hubbard 16 for 58 and a touchdown. Bryce Young 3 for 20 and Jonathan Brooks 2 for 7 on the ground. Receiving, David Moore 6 for 81 and a touchdown. Adam Thielen 3 for 57. Xavier Leggett 4 for 56. Jatavion Sanders 3 for 49. Devin Tompkins 3 for 13. Tommy Trimble 1 for 5 and Chuba Hubbard 1 for 2. This Carolina team just went all out. They were blitzing a ton, putting a lot of pressure on Mahomes. He took 5 sacks here. He was very smart with the ball, as he always is usually, so didn't throw any picks, but it did force him to make a lot of incorrect reads and incomplete passes and turnover on downs. But in the very end, there was a late drive led by Patrick Mahomes that worked on a scramble that got them into field goal range. And despite not having Harrison Buckner, the newly signed Spencer Schrader came in and was 3 for 3 on field goals for the day and got the game-winning field goal to keep the upset of a lifetime from happening as the Chiefs were able to beat the Panthers. This game was obviously a lot closer than anyone expected, and hats off to the Panthers for playing their asses off. They're still an NFL team. It's not like they were in a different league, obviously. They're in the same league.
Yeah, I mean, if we could see more of this type of Panthers team that actually can play up to competition, I would not be going so much harder on them than I have been.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the Chiefs is that even though they're a Super Bowl favorite and they have the best record in the league tied with the Lions, they don't seem to be playing the best football. As a lot of their competition, it seems to be like they're playing down to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which we expect more of the Steelers, not the Chiefs, but
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not a good sign when, this Spagnola defense that's supposed to be one of the best in the nation is letting a quarterback who most people thought was absolutely done in the NFL, Bryce Young, pass for 263 yards without forcing an interception, only sacking him twice and letting him pass for a touchdown on 21 for 35.
right. The last thing you want in a championship caliber offense, especially when you're trying for the three-peat, is complacency.
Exactly. You can't get complacent because that will kill you. There are hungrier teams who don't know what winning is like and want that badly.
Case in point, the Panthers.
Yeah. Hats off to Patrick Mahomes, though, orchestrating another clutch drive. I'll show you the scamper that he got out that was able to get them the win late in the game. So you can see the Panthers
They're all the way up, back up at their goal line.
tied.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was a long drive.
Yeah. Kelsey over the middle.
Kelsey wasn't going much.
41 left. They got 3 timeouts. Again, great timeout management by Andy Reid, not using him too often. 47
also,
seconds.
Game's over.
And there goes Mahomes, first down, and even more as he gets all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Not bad. Also, game just ended. Ravens 30, Chargers 23.
So, yeah, great play by the Chiefs. Also getting down here and then starting to waste time in order to make sure that the Carolina Panthers had no chance of coming back. Leaving 2 seconds.
And I dropped 140 points in fantasy.
Yep. And there you go. Chiefs get the win. Not much else to say about this is that there was a great chance for the Panthers to do something incredible, but they couldn't get it done. I'm not spending much more time in this game as I'm sad about the Panthers. They had a chance. They had a chance.
And we're going to this game of what the fuck?
Oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. Titans and Texans. Texans had a chance with this game to go 8-4 and be in very, very secure position ahead of their NFC South counterparts, but instead fell in this game AFC South counterparts. Excuse me. They fell in this game 27-32. The final score. Again, not knowing what to do with a lead, as they let the Titans somehow still cling on to what little life they have left, as they now advance to 3-8, with the Houston being only 7-5 on the season. This sophomore slump for Houston, I think we can call that. I think we can call it a sophomore slump now, as C.J. Stroud hasn't looked as good as he was last year, and now Houston is starting to struggle amidst the worst division in football, and they might be one of the reasons why. Will Levis for the Titans win
sophomore hangover.
Yeah.
It's more like a sophomore hangover.
Will Levis went 18 for 24 for 278, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 8 sacks. Tony Pollard carried the ball 24 times for 119 yards and a touchdown, and Will Levis 8 for 10, as well as Julius Chestnut 1 for 3. Receiving, Calvin Ridley 5 for 93, Chigozium Okonkwo 1 for 70 and a touchdown, Tyler Boyd 6 for 55, Nick Westbrook-Akine 2 for 48 and a touchdown, Tony Pollard 3 for 10, and Julius Chestnut 1 for 2. For the Texans, C.J. Stroud 20 for 33 for 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 4 sacks. Rushing, Joe Mixon 14 for 22, and C.J. Stroud 3 for 18. Again, I said it last week. I've said it constantly about this Titans. They have the most underrated defensive line and front 7 in the league. They allowed 17 carries for 40 yards from Joe Mixon and C.J. Stroud. Joe Mixon has been on a tear this season, and they stonewalled him. For the receiving core for Houston, Nico Collins 5 for 92 and a touchdown, Tank Dell 3 for 72. Kate Stover, 3 for 26 and a touchdown. Joe Mixon, 5 for 23. Dalton Schultz, 2 for 20. And Robert Woods, 1 for 8, as well as John Meshke III, 1 for 6. This Houston defense laid an egg, letting Will Levis throw for 278 yards, only forcing 1 interception. Sacking him 8 times is nice, but again, that's mostly Will Anderson and Darnell Hunter there. But then also allowing 132 rush yards and 33 carries and 1 touchdown, most of which was all Tony Pollard. It just like you let the Titans do whatever they wanted to and that let them stay in the game, and then you had an absolute blunder late where where is it?
Yeah, the Strouds are starting to concern a lot of people here, and this game is proof of it.
So obviously some penalties and also a great punt by, I believe it's Tommy Doman, I think, or no, Ryan Stonehouse, sorry. Got them down here, and then CJ Stroud, I think, pulled a Dan Orlovsky here. So he's backing up, and then
I would not call that Dan Orlovsky because he got tackled. It wasn't like he just went out with in the
that
back.
new point changed it from a 27 to 30 game to a 27 to 32 game. They tried for an onside kick, which I did not know you could onside kick on a free kick, but they tried it, and it was
evidently
unsuccessful. And the Titans kneeled out the game. On a scale of 1 to 10, guys, how concerned are you if you're a Texans fan?
Very.
So 1 is not
10.
concerned. 10. Okay, 10 is 10.
Yeah, really. I mean, you're still in the playoffs. You're still leading your division. I say it's probably at 8.
Oh, you're going to get destroyed in the playoffs.
Yeah, like wild card.
Yes, if you start.
I'm going to say like a solid 8.
Yeah, I think they still have a chance if they play a little bit better, like they played early in the season.
That was his shirt. Gorlami's shirt is like mixing it with the green screen.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
spooky!
And also the offensive line is just getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Laramie Tunsil is looking like the Patriots' Michael Jordan. He just cannot stop picking up penalties that are just costing them drives.
Mhm.
And I think another big issue is if your defense is going to play like this, it's not great. Obviously, your offense line is a big issue, but like you need to be able to have some reliance on your defense to play against some of these bad teams and force turnovers or force bad plays. Get your offense on the field more often than not.
And it's only going to get worse if that Jalen Petrie injury turns out to be season-ending for them, because that secondary can't take any more hits.
Not at all. Then for the Titans, congratulations. You want a cookie? You're 3-8. I don't think Will Levis is the best option for you guys next season, but he's the best option going forward. So
I don't know if you guys have been watching Tom Grossi's like if the NFL was scripted videos, but this is going to be very on par with how they've been going recently. Yeah.
Off when I click over here. I don't understand.
I don't know.
So many technology issues today.
I know. Technology hates us. Yeah. There must be a bunch of solar flares or something.
You guys hear that there was going to be some sort of like DDoS attack on Discord tomorrow? It's going to be just be like a whole bunch of like takedowns and people trying to hack and steal from you.
Didn't hear anything about that.
Well, they might be doing it now, so
yeah,
who knows?
Stuff to be happening. But yeah, not great for the Texans. You need to shape up and fix things quick moving forward. And then for the Titans, good job. I don't know if you really wanted to win this game. You probably want a better pick. And Jacksonville's still below you in the AFC South. So
here's a half-eaten cookie.
Here's a half-eaten cookie, and it's oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, and they don't even get the Raiders. You don't even get a quarter of a cookie. You get crumbs that have been sitting under the couch for 3 months.
You get a scone. Fuck you.
It's not even a scone you like. It's like
29,
boysenberry.
Yeah, 29-19 the final score. The Broncos get the win in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Mississippi Mudflap had a axle break as he went out with an injury. He went 25 for 42 for 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 3 sacks, and then had to be replaced by Desmond Ridder, who was 5 for 10 for 64 yards and took 2 sacks himself. Rushing, their lead rusher was a man I've never heard of, Sincere McCormick, 5 for 33, Amir Abdullah, 8 for 28, and Gardner Minshew, 2 for 5, as well as Desmond Ridder, 1 for 3. Receiving, Joby Myers, 10 for 121 yards, Trey Tucker, 7 for 82, Brock Bowers, 4 for 38, Amir Abdullah, 5 for 37, and a touchdown. Divine Diablo, 1 for 34, Michael Mayer, 2 for 11, and DJ Turner, 2 for 5. Moving on to the Broncos, Bronco Bo Nix, 25 for 42 for 273, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 1 sack. Rushing the ball, Julian McLaughlin, 7 for 44, Odik Estime, 3 for 15, Bo Nix 1 for 5, Michael Burton 1 for 3, 63 rush yards and 22 carries altogether. Not a great day there. Receiving,
I had to look this guy. I had to look this guy up. The Sincere McCormick guy, second-year player out of UTSA, immediately sent back to the practice squad after this loss.
Oof. He was their lead rusher.
After leading the team.
He was their lead.
I know.
Okay.
It's the Raiders. What Raiders? Do you think they are following any logic whatsoever?
Cortland Sutton had a good game, 8 for 97 and 2 touchdowns. Devon Vele, 6 for 80. Marvin Mims, 3 for 44. Troy Franklin, 2 for 31. Michael Burton, 1 for 8. Jonte Williams, 2 for 6. And LeJordan Humphrey, 2 for 4, as well as Adam Trotman, 1 for 3. This Broncos team obviously was playing like a very bad Raiders team, but the Broncos team obviously not fully formed in their rebuild as they would want to be, but they're going in the right direction. Bo Nix every week continues to look better and better, and I think is honestly starting to challenge some of the Jaden Daniels has ran away with the offensive rookie of the year. He's still going to need to play a very good end of the season, but he's looked very, very good. No interceptions, only 1 sack, 25 for 42 for 273. 42 pass attempts on a rookie quarterback is a lot to put on him, but Sean Payton expects a lot out of this guy, and he's kind of delivered so far. So, he looks good. His arm strength looks good, and then he can throw a dot while on the move. Obviously, that's bad timing there, but he's able to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's able to do almost anything he wants with the football, and the scheming from Peyton seems to be doing very well.
Yeah, Belichick was actually singing the praises of the offense they're running and how quickly Bo Nix is just like adapting it to it, because it is notorious that Sean Payton runs one of the most complex offenses in the NFL. They don't repeat plays; they repeat concepts, but not full on 100% copies of plays. And their playbook is essentially about as thick as a Cheesecake Factory menu. They do like just about everything you can think of imaginably offense. And for him to just pick that up immediately and just memorize just about everything they can do out of it on the fly, it's very impressive to see from a rookie. Albeit it's a 27-year-old rookie, but still a rookie.
Yep. This adds some intrigue to the AFC West standings. Obviously, Kansas City looks like they're going to run away with this. They're 10-1 right now. Behind them, the Rams are 7-4, but Denver is 7-5. Vegas is definitely out of it. They're 2-9. But Denver and LA both have chances to make wild card positions. And if Kansas City absolutely falls apart, they could win the division, but that's highly unlikely. I think the Broncos, I feel like they could also somewhat seem, maybe to a little bit lesser degree, but like the Miami Dolphins, they could be a bit of a dark horse team. They're playing very well. They have a good quarterback. Obviously, Courtland Sutton's developing very well. And if they can fix this run game, they might be able to do something. I think it would be very poetic if somehow they land Austin Genty and he goes from one Broncos team to another, coming from Boise State to Denver. But
staying sort of in Northwest. I mean, Denver's more in the mountain region, but
yeah, they're close. I believe they almost border.
No, I think they do border, actually. It's like goes Idaho, Wyoming.
Idaho, Montana.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Wyoming kind of separates them. But regardless, good play by the Broncos here. I would like to see more of the run game get developed more because their pass game is great, but it's starting to seem a little bit like the Bills from last year where it's getting a little one-dimensional. Then for the Raiders, things got from bad to worse. Gardner Minshew can win you some games when he has some sparks of genius like Uncle Rico, but now Uncle Rico's rotator cuff is in shambles. So you're going to be relying on Cincinnati quarterback Desmond Ridder, who I believe
apparently also AJ Cole, their punter, saw some sort of action in this game. I don't know how. The 34-yard pass.
Yeah. Hey, they got it. They
did. But it's either Riddler, AOC, or Gus Bradley's kid, which is
AOC. What?
Yeah. Aiden O'Connell.
I know.
Yeah, not Alexander I don't know full name.
I think it's like Ocasio-Cortez. I don't know how to pronounce her name, honestly.
It's a very long name.
Yeah.
But I think this would be a good spot for Daniel Jones to prove that he still has some value. Sign like a veteran minimum deal or something like that to go out and play like the rest of the season and help him out. But he wants to apparently sign to a Super Bowl contender. Okay, buddy.
Well, playoff contender. I wouldn't say Super Bowl, but he has some realistic expectations.
The teams
of where
he
he's
listed
land.
were Super Bowl contenders: the Ravens and the Bills.
And he said playoff. I don't know if he. I could. Funny enough, I could see him possibly going to the 49ers if Brock Purdy's injury keeps him out for next week.
I mean, at this point, the only thing the 49ers seem to be contending for is the first pick in the draft.
They're not that bad.
It's starting to seem that way. They're starting to slide.
It's certainly a slide, but I could not see them going anywhere lower than probably 13, 12 maybe.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're in the 14th spot right now for the draft.
Yep.
They're not going to get number one pick because Giants, Raiders, Jaguars, Patriots, Panthers, Titans, Jets, Browns, Cowboys.
And we can already talk about the Jets. They suck.
Yeah.
So let's move on from this game. Great win by the Broncos. They continue to develop well. And then for the Raiders, it's just more bad news. All right. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers.
The 49ers third stringers versus the Packers.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs field day, mind you. 10-38 the final score in Lambeau Field. The Patriots? Holy shit.
The Patriots.
The Packers get their revenge, even though it didn't really feel like it, with half of the San Francisco 49ers roster in the hospital. They get the win at home for the 49ers. Quarterback Brandon Allen, 17 for 29 for 199, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 2 sacks. Rushing, Christian McCaffrey, they only gave him the ball 11 times for 31 yards. He also caught the ball 3 times for 37 yards, so they're not utilizing him as much. It seems like there's still some restrictions with that Achilles. Jordan Mason also 3 for 8, and Brandon Allen 2 for 5 rushing. Receiving, George Kittle led the way, 6 for 82 and a touchdown. Juwan Jennings 5 for 40, Christian McCaffrey 3 for 37, Deebo Samuel 1 for 21, and Kyle Juszczyk 1 for 14.
Yeah, but that Kittle touchdown was like the only highlight for them. That was the biggest score they had.
On the flip
I
side,
mean,
Jordan Love.
Up until
13
that touchdown drive, they ran 6 plays.
Yeah. Jordan Love, 13 for 23 for 163 and 2 touchdowns, no picks and 2 sacks. He did a great job not turning the ball over this game. Josh Jacobs, 26 for 106 and 3 touchdowns on the ground. A field day for him.
God damn.
Emmanuel Wilson, 9 for 41. Chris Brooks, 4 for 11. And Bo Melton, 1 for 5 rushing as well. Moving on to receiving, Romeo Dobbs, 3 for 54. Tucker Kraft, 2 for 26 and a touchdown. Jaden Reed, 3 for 26. Tavion Wicks, 1 for 25. Malik Heath, 2 for 15 and a touchdown. Chris Brooks, 1 for 15. And John Fitzpatrick, 1 for 2. First, I'll say for the Niners, obviously, you've heard it all season. Injuries are the biggest reason why this is happening. And I'll say this also, too. There's always a lot of Brock Purdy hate because people can't believe that, like, hey, you know, this last pick in the draft from Iowa State is actually doing something.
Can I just say, don't click on John Fitzpatrick's stats. His picture makes him look like a fucking serial killer.
Click on it. Click on it. Click on it.
Oh, yeah, it's a little...
Now I want to see.
It looks like a poster for Smile 2.
Smile to what?
It's a movie, apparently.
Apparently.
There he is.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from third string tight end John Fitzpatrick to God damn it, Keto, you broke my fucking thing. There you go.
I didn't
so
do shit.
I'll say this
Fitzpatrick
to the Brock Purdy haters out there. Like this would have been a much better game if Brock Purdy was here. Obviously, without him, this team is not able to do as much. Brandon Allen was sacked twice. He threw a pick. It was 17 for 29. Didn't have a great day. This would have been a much closer game with Brock Purdy. And it shows that not anyone on this team that takes the quarterback position is able to succeed. It takes a good quarterback to win football games. They might always be the best. You might have a Trent Dilfer situation in, you know, Baltimore where he wins the Super Bowl where the defense does most of the heavy lifting, but that doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback. Brock Purdy is still a very good quarterback in this league, probably top half in the league, and this is concrete evidence of why he is. Moving on to the Packers, it's hard to kind of gauge how good this game was. Obviously, you did what needed to be done, didn't play down to competition, and your defense showed up and your offense was clicking. That's great. But at the same time, how heavy can you weight this being that, you know, you're playing a just team that is beat to high hell?
A handicapped child.
A handicapped child. Jeez.
This is essentially Jake Paul's boxing career, beating up old.
Yeah, this was Jake Paul versus Mike
injured
Tyson.
as hell.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
This was, yeah. And Josh Jacobs was Jake Paul's right arm. Yeah. Not much else to say about this. I mean, I also will hand it to you. I was worried that when Matt LaFleur got Josh Jacobs, who was one of the better running backs in the league, that he would not use him enough in the running game. Changed my mind on that. This man realizes,
this game definitely put those fears to bed.
This guy realized, I have a workhorse at the running back position. I'm going to use him. And they did. They've used him multiple times this season to be the main proponent of their offense. So, again, it seems like the Achilles injuries are still limiting McCaffrey somewhat as far as minutes or touches. Brock Purdy is still obviously the best option for the San Francisco 49ers.
So I technically win the trade, Mama.
Yeah. And he's also still like the best player possible, I think, for the Niners at the quarterback position that they have on the roster. And he's still a very good player. Also, the fact that Deebo Samuel only had 4 targets this game, probably just because they had a low amount of passes. There were only 29 pass attempts in total for Brandon Allen. But just need to get rid of the ball quicker. You have a good offensive line, still got sacked twice. It's rough. But yeah, then for the Packers, you executed where you needed to execute, and you won the game. Not much else to say there. We'll move on.
Have a cookie.
Have a cookie. We'll move on to really
this was
hard-fought game. Ugly, but hard-fought. It's an NFC West showdown. These games can get quite ugly. Not as ugly as AFC North showdowns, but again, here we are. Cardinals 6, Seattle Seahawks 16, a low-scoring game. Seattle now, with this win, is now first placed in the NFC West, securing their spot for a first-round, well, not a first-round bye, but at least a top 4 seed in the playoffs so far. Kyler Murray for the Cardinals went 24 for 37 for 285, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 5 sacks. Rushing, Trey Benson 4 for 18, Amari DeMarcano 1 for 14, Kyler Murray 2 for 9, and James Conner 7 for 8. Not a good day rushing. This was, as we've talked about, I think the past 2 years, because we've been doing this for a while now, what has the biggest issue been for the Seahawks constantly?
Rushing defense
Yes. And this game,
and inconsistencies.
Right, but I feel like the biggest issue personnel-wise was like they had Poona Ford and nobody. Obviously, now Poona Ford's gone, and you don't know what they're going to do. They stonewalled one of the better running backs in the league, who's been very explosive this season, James Conner. Then receiving, Trey McBride, 12 for 133. Michael Wilson, 2 for 54. Marvin Harrison, 3 for 47. James Conner, 5 for 41. Greg Dortch, 1 for 5. Elijah Higgins, 1 for 5. For the Seahawks, Geno Smith, 21 for 31 for 245, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 5 sacks. Rushing, Kenneth Walker, 16 for 41, Zach Charbonnet, 6 for 22, and Geno Smith, 3 for 2. Receiving, JSN, 6 for 77 and 1 touchdown. DK Metcalf, 4 for 59. Kenneth Walker III, 4 for 52. Tyler Lockett, 2 for 20. Farrell Brown, 2 for 19. AJ Bonner, 3 for 19. And Jake Bobo, 1 for 8. Again, a game that was ugly, sure, but also very defensive focused.
I remember all you guys picked the Cardinals, and I was the only one that picked the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean,
So
both of
guess
these
who's
teams.
laughing?
Yeah, both of these teams have struggles with consistency, and so whoever's the more consistent was the winner, and that was the Seahawks. From what I can see from this, the big aspect for the Cardinals not being able to win was just not getting the run game developed. Obviously, like James Conner was averaging like almost less than a yard per carry, 7 carries, 8 yards. That is like prime Leonard Fournette in the playoff type numbers when he was like 42. It was bad. It's just, yeah. So they were one-sided, and you know this honestly, this Seattle Seahawks pass defense can be pretty good because they have Kobe Bryant, no relation, at defensive back, and still they have a lot of the old aspects of the Pete Carroll style. And the Legion of Boom,
Witherspoon,
Witherspoon. Cody, no, that's one of the receivers. But yeah, Rick Woolen, like this Seattle defense can still defend against the pass very well. And there were a lot of questions coming in because their starting center randomly retired in the middle of the season. And so they had to rely on second-year player to Michigan, second-year player, Osu Oluwatimi, who showed up and played very well. So that's a very good sign for them. And the Seahawks were just able to dominate the game in many facets. I think 5 sacks on Kyler Murray is also a big stat there because he is elusive in that pocket, and bringing him down is a task and a half. Any more thoughts on this game, gentlemen, for a good win for the Seahawks to establish their lead in the division?
All I'm saying is I'm
What
right.
the fuck is the NFC West?
I was right.
NFC West is crazy.
Yeah.
Seattle's 6-5, Arizona's 6-5, Los Angeles is 5-6, and San Fran is 5-6. Like anybody can win this still. Like San Fran could still make the playoffs. All they have to do is win 2 straight games and have LA, Arizona, and Seattle lose 2 straight, and they're leading the division. All it takes is 2 weeks, and they can lead the division. That's all it takes. All right, we'll move on from this one. Go into our second to last game, and Maston's going to be happy about this one. This was the Saquon Barkley show, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought there was one more after.
Nope.
Hold on.
There was
we
one
skip?
more after this. I don't think we skipped one. Let me see.
No.
No,
You
yeah,
guys
you're right. We didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I know we were going to talk about the Jets, but they
SoFi
I
Stadium.
forgot they were on bye.
Yeah. SoFi Stadium, LA Rams, and Philadelphia Eagles. This was a Sunday Night Football matchup. Eagles won 37-20. It was kind of close for a while, and the Eagles pulled away in the second half. They scored 14 points in the third quarter and 10 in the fourth, only to the 7 and 6, respectively, of the Rams. For the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 15 for 22 for 179, 1 touchdown, no picks, 1 sack. Rushing, Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest one was 72 yards. And then receiving, he was second on their receiving list, 4 receptions, 47 yards. The man nearly had 300 yards on offense by himself.
He had more He had more total yardage than 7 teams this week.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts,
Christ.
12 for 39 on the ground, and Kenneth Gainwell, 5 for 22 and a touchdown. Receiving, A.J. Brown, 6 for 109 and a touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 4 for 19, and John Dotson, 1 for 4. So when it comes to the receiving category, that 4 people caught passes. A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Jahan Dotson all caught passes. Barkley was the only other one, and he also still ran for 26 carries and 255 yards. That's a massive workload on his body. Moving on to the Rams, old gunslinger Matt Stafford, 24 for 36 for 243, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 5 sacks. So that Philly rush really getting to him. Then moving on to the rushing department, Kieran Williams, 16 for 72 and a touchdown, Matthew Stafford, 1 for 15, and Blake Corum, 1 for 5. For LA's receiving column, the dual-headed threat of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Nacua went 9 receptions, 117 yards, and Kupp 8 for 60 and a touchdown. Tutu 12, 3 for 30. DeMarcus Robinson 2 for 15 and a touchdown. Tyler Johnson 1 for 11, and Cody Parkinson 1 for 10. Again, the Rams miss Aaron Donald in a lot of ways. One of which is in the run game, their run defense specifically. Saquon Barkley was able to do whatever he wanted when Nick Sirianni finally realized, hey, we should run the ball a little bit more here. So they had that going. I'm still not really confident in this. I mean, obviously, the Rams' passing game can still be very good. Obviously, with like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Tutu Atwell. That is a really, really solid receiving core, and they're all being passed the ball by Matthew Stafford. At the same time, though, there's a lot. Letting up 243 passing yards on 36 attempts, 117 and 9 catches to Puka Nacua is a lot. So I would still be kind of concerned as an Eagles fan about this, but you can't not be happy with just the performance by the offense.
It depends who is covering Cooper, because Darius Slay went out during the game.
Yeah.
Trying to think who was covering him most of the time. I don't think, was Quinion Mitchell mostly covering him, or was he on Puka?
I've looked further in the stats for that, but at the same time, it's not good that now you've lost who for the rest of the season? Sorry.
Brandon Graham.
Brandon Graham.
Thank you. Excuse me. Brandon Graham for the rest of the season, which is a big part of your defensive line that sacked Stafford 5 times. So that's a big loss there. And if Slay's out a long period of time, that's not good either. So this defense really has to shape up because, as we have seen, especially under the Sirianni head coaching staff, that this offense is inconsistent as fuck. But at the same time, this puts Saquon Barkley into the MVP conversation pretty solidly. I don't think he's above guys like
Lamar.
Mahomes.
Josh Allen.
Not Mahomes. He's above Mahomes. I don't think he's above Josh Allen. He might not even be above Jared Goff, to be quite honest.
I love you, Josh Allen.
Barkley, but besides that one horrible turnover game, Jared Goff has been one of the most ridiculous, efficient throwers in the league. Also, take a look at this, just bull rush here. I don't know who's number 8 on the Rams. Let's see here.
It's a rookie.
Jared Verse.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it was a
Verse.
rookie.
Jared Verse is a rookie out of Florida State. He was the first-round pick, number 19 overall. He is going up here against left tackle Jordan Mailata, who has solidified himself as a all-pro caliber offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
Now, I will admit,
he was not expecting Mailata. Mailata was not expecting him to do a bull rush. He thought he was going to go.
As you look,
expected or not,
snap perfectly, and Mailata takes a big kick step back, but he doesn't put a lot of his weight on his rear foot and has a little bit too much of it, I would say, on his front foot. Again, I'm not an expert here. But because of the disbalance, he's just able to push Mailata with the motion of his body, and poof, goes down, and there he goes. Now, if he was able to stay on his feet, obviously that would have been a sack. But that pass,
but he did not give up that chase. He was clawing after him until Hurts was way out of range.
Yeah,
and still hunts him down even after he's out of the pocket.
They found a good pass rusher. The guy's very solid.
Yes,
but. Retrospect to this game, Rams are still fighting. You put up a really good fight against a really tough team, and again, this offense is able to win gunfights, but I mean, your defense just couldn't hold a candle to Saquon Barkley and that just threat of the rush. So great performance by the Eagles, getting back on track at the right time. This is kind of the opposite as they were last season. Early in the season this year, I felt like the Eagles were not doing great, and then now they seem to be doing better. While last season they started out amazing, and then whoosh, just into the gutter.
Yep.
So, great work by the Eagles. Hopefully, you can continue this for your teams and your city's sake. Just so continue
And
to,
for Santa's sake.
yeah, continue to work better and better as the season goes on. Get more and more efficient. Iron out the kinks, grease the cogs, all that stuff. And then for the Rams, it's just a dogfight in the NFC West. 6-5, 6-5, 5-6, 5-6. Seattle, Arizona, LA, San Francisco, respectively. It's a dogfight. We'll take a little bit better look at the standings in a second, but we have one more game to cover and one that just concluded. Also,
They're not going to have
yeah, they're not going to
Sorry,
have. One thing I need to say before we move on, real quick. I found this. We obviously we can't cover Thursday night games very well most of the time because we record on Thursdays. I found this clip because Jameis was mic'd up during that snow game. You guys.
Oh, was he?
Somebody jump off sides. Damn.
Yeah! 180! What's that? Hut! Turbo, what's that? Somebody jump off sides, damn!
Jameis Winston, man. Somebody jump outside. Damn.
That's good.
Oh,
That's actually funny.
That's very funny. All right, the game that just concluded tonight, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens win the Harbaugh Bowl. John versus Jim. John gets the win. Younger brother wins out. 30-23, the final score from LA.
Has Jim
Baltimore.
ever won the Harbaugh Bowl? I can't think
Nope.
of any.
Nope. Now John Sereno.
Yeah, because one time they met in the Super Bowl.
Wait, the one where the power outage happened
The
in
one
the
that Powder
Superdome.
happened.
Yep.
Yep. 30-23, the final score. Lamar Jackson, 16 for 22 for 177, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 sack. Derrick Henry on the ground had a great day, 24 for 140. A great week for running backs. Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley all went off. Justice Hill, 4 for 55 and a touchdown.
Still not enough to beat me, Mamba.
15 and a touchdown. And Mark Andrews 1 for 2. For receiving, Zay Flowers 5 for 62, Mark Andrews 5 for 44 and a touchdown, Rashad Bateman 2 for 43 and a touchdown, Tyron Wallace 1 for 15, and Justice Hill 2 for 7. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert 21 for 36 for 218, no touchdowns, no picks, 4 sacks though. Not a rough day for his offensive line protecting him there. Rushing, J.K. Dobbins 6 for 40, Justin Herbert 4 for 29 and a touchdown, Gus Edwards 9 for 11 and a touchdown, and Hassan Haskins 1 for 3. Receiving, Ladd McConkey 6 for 83, Will Disley 4 for 47, Joshua Palmer 3 for 38, Jalen Reagor 2 for 20, J.K. Dobbins 3 for 19, Tucker Frisk 1 for 7, Darius Davis 2 for 4. Again, when this Ravens team starts to run the ball more, I feel like they're a lot better. They have Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and Lamar Jackson, and they're blocking with like Linderbaum, Mark Andrews, not to mention also who's their other Flowers. They're the not Flowers. Who's their other tight end?
Isaiah Likely?
Isaiah Likely, and then they also have Patrick Ricard at fullback. Like this team.
Yeah, Patrick
is
Ricard
like,
was apparently trending earlier because he tried to get like a dirty leg whip on one of the Chargers, I guess.
Yeah, but again, this Ravens team is set up to, like, honestly, I've not seen a team in the NFL set up to run the Army, like, wishbone style offense until now. Obviously, they're not going to do that, but at the same time, throwing in some hefty sets with 2 tight ends and a fullback and running the darn ball or even a power read option, which is a great opportunity, especially with an athletic freak of Lamar Jackson. So they ran the ball well, 212 rush yards to 177 pass yards, and you're doing this against Jim Harbaugh, who is the bring the running back and fullback back guy in the NFL, which is just so poetic. Then for the Chargers, it's just this Ravens offense is so strong, and the defense for the Chargers still has a lot to kind of improve on, especially in their secondary and linebacking core. I think their defensive line is still very solid. Obviously, Bosa and Mack still can be very good if they're still not somewhat inconsistent, but that secondary has some gaps in it. And this was a game where it was old school style football, and the Ravens won the day out by forcing the agenda with their run game. 140 yards and 24 carries for Derrick Henry is incredible, and he did a great job at leading his team.
Yeah.
Not too much else to say there. Anyone have any other opinions or thoughts?
Chargers
Not-
did get hosed on a passing interference call that got picked up.
Yeah, there were a couple.
Yeah.
couple rough calls though. It wasn't Chiefs-like, but there were definitely some questionable calls.
Right.
All right. Real quick before we move into gambling with Gorlami and the Tank Bowl Mamba, I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Is your MVP Saquon Barkley?
You could guess. Take a wild guess.
Yeah.
Take a
We
wild
also
guess. It's safe.
want to talk because I thought the Jets played this week. I was wrong. Do we want to talk about the Aaron Rodgers stuff real quick?
So obviously, GM for the Jets is fired. Their head coach was fired a while ago. They traded for Devontae Adams midseason. It's done nothing. And so now the owner of the Jets is apparently going to make the executive decision to bench Aaron Rodgers. This is not confirmed, but most likely will happen next week during Thanksgiving.
Wow.
That Aaron Rodgers will be benched.
Ooh.
And Rodgers says he wants to play another season. Obviously, we talked about this last week, but it's not going to be with the Jets because the owner's not going to re-sign him. That's rough.
Probably not. It's something that just came across my thing because there's apparently, and it's only a rumor. Just hear me out on this though. They are linked to trading Aaron Rodgers, and one of the big ones is
Please tell me it's the
trading
Vikings.
him to the Jaguars for Trevor Lawrence.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't fucking
Why?
know. That's
Why would you
so
trade
stupid.
a young quarterback with still a good amount of upside in Trevor Lawrence for oh my god. You know what Rodgers is going to do in Florida?
Again, it's a rumor, which means it's probably not even true. It's just some writer for Athlon Sports
Funny.
making up shit. And another one I saw is that it's just not a good look for their GM and coaching hire because they brought in the same think tank, the 33rd team, that helped the Commanders find Dan Quinn and Adam Peters to fill their roles last year. But the 33rd team includes a guy they fired, their old GM, Mike Tannenbaum, who was the same guy landing guys like Darrell Revis and DeBrickashaw Ferguson back in the day.
All
No,
right.
So-
we're not doing that. No.
You do know that
Yeah.
if Rodgers ends up in Florida, he's going to turn to bath salts, right?
I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't already.
All right. So
The only way that make the season bearable for him.
Oh, okay. You're
we
doing
do
like
this
the
with a
Super
ton of
Bowl.
different. We do this with a ton of different players. So,
What are we
Oh,
doing?
No.
What is
there's-
this?
Rodgers.
He's trying to do a tier list for
Oh,
Rodgers.
fuck no.
So let's look at where okay, obviously bad fit. You're not trading for Kirk Cousins. Bad fit. You, like basically can't for that. Can't for that. It wouldn't be good because you're rebuilding.
Goes to the Panthers.
Bad fit. Just bad fit.
Can't. Well, I was going to say can't because of your contract.
It'd be
Yeah.
funny if he lands on the Browns, I'll be honest.
Honestly, this might with Mike McCarthy.
Reuniting with Mike McCarthy?
Yeah.
No.
Bad fit.
Oh,
This
Also-
late in their careers?
Hold on. Gorlami, are you okay? You look dead.
I find it utterly stupid that he put great fit for Cowboys and Mike McCarthy coming back.
Yeah.
He hated McCarthy towards the end.
True. So, yeah. Jaguars.
Your wife's a Packers fan. You should know this shit.
Yeah.
Get it in your brain.
Bad fit. Can't.
Get too much CTE from watching Vontaze.
It would be funny if
Perfect.
the
My
Raiders
God.
land him, I'll be honest.
Because of Tua.
But at the top, just because it'd be a farm
No,
factor.
you gotta put Vikings out there just for
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Honestly, Titans might not be bad. Giants might not be bad. Jets can't. Commanders
Literally can't 'cause they're getting rid of him.
Niners, obviously Brock Purdy, but like it's
Maybe.
Saints, Patriots, bad.
No, God no.
Eagles can't. Steelers, probably bad. I mean, I would say
No, I mean the Steelers actually might
They're
retain
good
Russell
right now.
Wilson if he keeps playing well.
Yeah.
So
Seahawks, bad. Buccaneers, probably just can't. Baker Mayfield's playing too good.
yeah.
So that's where we see like Rodgers going anywhere next year.
Yeah. I love how we just put the Vikings out there for the far factor.
The Far Factory. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to gambling with Gorlami.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money.
Oh, I clicked the
Here
wrong
we
button.
go.
Fuck.
Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
haven't had to put my green screen on Discord. It's just been fucking with my jersey.
I think I feel it keeps
Anyways,
clipping
we went with
it
the,
keeps clipping my hair and shirt, thinking that I'm blending in with the background.
We went with the old, good old-fashioned Thanksgiving games. We're gonna go Jordan Love at quarterback, Josh Jacobs at running back. You gotta trust that workhorse. Tracy Jr. for the sake of fuck it, we ball. Keenan Allen, Romeo Dobbs because it seems he's like the only wide receiver we have. Amon-Ra, obviously. Tucker Kraft because he's gonna burn down your childhood home, and he threatened me, and I'm a little scared, so figured I'd put him in there.
Red me.
Flex Swift, and for defense, you kind of have to pick the Lions. See why you can't.
All right.
And I also realized I picked 4 Packers players, but you know what? Fuck
Yeah,
it,
there's
we
a lot
won.
of Packers players. Yeah, a lot of Lions too. 4 Packers, 3 Lions. Actually, it's all NFC North shit. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right. Well,
Oh,
and we're
you're
on to the
kidding
Tank
me.
Bowl with Macedon.
Oh, God. It's my camera's loading. What is going on? If I turn it off, am I going to fuck anything up?
At this stage, on this screen, who knows?
Fuck it.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Yeah,
There we go.
All right. There we go. Macedon, how do you feel about the Tank Bowl looking right now?
Let's see. Jaguars were on a bye.
I think you had to move the Commander or the Panthers to
The
cringe.
Panthers, yes. And then
Also, the Browns won on Thursday Night Football.
Did the Browns win or the Steelers lose?
The Browns won. The Browns won that game.
George Pickens got to
I
another
would do that.
Raiders, you're going down. Raiders, you're going down the worst.
Hey, you stop it.
Yeah.
You stop it. Is this your tier list? No.
Sure,
It is
sure.
Macedon it. Stop
So
touching it.
Raiders, you're at worst. Jets, you're at stinky. Saints had a bye. Patriots lost. Who am I missing anything from these teams?
Let me think, because
Not really.
well, I
All these
mean,
teams are
Bears
somewhat in
maybe.
playoff contention.
The Bears played
they've been
they look better.
they've been playing better since they fired that
alright,
offensive
yeah.
coordinator.
All right. I'm trying to think. What
They
else
still
could be here.
suck,
I
but
think
you know,
all of these-
What about the Falcons?
No, they're just a little inconsistent. They're still doing pretty strong, and they could win their division honestly very easily. So I think this is fine. The only thing I would say
Arizona.
is they are like right here. They're teetering on the edge. Like it like a couple
Yeah,
of losses
it's getting
and you're like,
Maybe
scary.
if but the thing is though, your
oh.
Patriots are fucked.
Yeah, I don't think the Colts belong there either. They have
Not
won some good
Yeah,
games.
the Patriots are fucked, but at least they're trying to stay competitive.
They're
Which-
both of
tight.
these teams are kind of like teetering.
Yeah.
now hear me
Yeah.
out.
So there's a
Hear me
B
out.
for effort.
Hear me out,
Titans-
Macedon.
All right.
Bengals only have 4 wins. Hear me
Joe
out.
Burrow. That offense, no,
The-
it's just a defense.
Jamar Chase
It's just
is
a
winning the
defense.
Triple Crown.
Yes,
Joe
but there
Burrow
is-
is leading in nearly every passing statistic, and Trey Henderson is leading the league in sacks.
You're thinking Bengals beat the
So much
Patriots. remember?
dick
No,
that you
actually,
only have
Patriots.
4 wins.
Patriots.
Patriots did
Fuck.
beat the Bengals.
But the thing is,
The Bengals also beat the
Put 'em in.
Browns and the Panthers and the Raiders. Also, Gerlami's
I'm not-
camera's frozen again.
Yeah, well, I'm not on screen, so
so okay, it's just the Bengals defense is bad, but Joe Burrow
Yes,
can
but
try
we're
to
not-
win them games.
yes, but this is not an
If
this
Joe
is
Burrow
not an
had
offense
7
or
8
defense
wins,
conversation.
Joe Burrow would be the first place MVP vote, and no one would be close. He's still in MVP conversations with a 4-win team. Is crazy.
This is your team as a whole.
I
4
still-
wins is saying something bad.
Yeah, but I think they're better than the Patriots, the Titans, the Saints, the Panthers, the Browns, the Cowboys. The
Honorable
Jets,
mention.
the Jags, New York.
Mid-season, all of these teams. Mid-season, the Bengals would beat all of these teams. Keyword mid-season. Beginning of the season, it's an entirely different story.
Yeah,
I get
if
that.
it was beginning of season, Bengals was going to
Yeah.
be early.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Honorable
Mas-
mention. Honorable mention.
Thank you, Macedon, for the tier list. All right. Let's quickly look, before we go into our predictions, let's quickly look at the standings for the NFL. That way we have an idea of the playoff picture and each of the division standings.
I don't wanna.
You playoff, here we go. So I don't think anyone's eliminated yet, which is which is still crazy. We're getting close to that time though. So for the AFC, Kansas City is leading the AFC West. They're 10-1. Buffalo with the AFC East 9-2. Steelers NFC North 8-3, and Texans AFC South 7-5. Then the 3 wildcard spots: Baltimore 8-4, Chargers 7-4, Broncos 7-5. In the hunt, Miami 5-6, Indy 5-7, Bengals 4-7, Browns 3-8, and then somewhat in it but out. Seems like the Jets, Titans, and Patriots are all not going to be in it, and Jaguars and Raiders are basically on the verge of elimination. Moving on to the NFC, the Detroit Lions are 10-1, leading the NFC North, the toughest division in football. The Philadelphia Eagles are 9-2, leading the NFC East. The Seattle Seahawks leading the NFC West at 6-5, and the Falcons leading the NFC South at 6-5 as well. Then the wild card spot, you have the Vikings who are 9-2, the Packers who are 8-3, and the Commanders who are 7-5. That is a stacked wild card opportunity, and I feel like you might see 2 to 3 if the playoffs were to start today, you would see 2 to 3 wild card victories in the NFC for the wild card teams and not the division leader teams. I think the Eagles would beat the Commanders, but I think the Vikings and Packers could beat the Seahawks and Falcons pretty handily. In the hunt, Cardinals, Buccaneers, and Rams are 6-5, 5-6, and 5-6 respectively. Then the Niners are also 5-6. They still have a chance to get to the Seahawks, as you can see here. The Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, and Niners are all part of the NFC West, and any one of them could take that 3 spot at any moment based on their interconference play. Then, I would say pretty much out of the hunt, the Saints 4-7, Bears 4-7, Cowboys 4-7, Panthers 3-8, and entering the Travis Hunter sweepstakes to the New York Giants 2-9.
I will not count out the Saints yet because AFC South could become tank division again.
It could.
You're not
We're
wrong.
Seeing what Kirk Cousins is going to do. All right, with all of the segments going forward, let's go ahead and look at the upcoming week of games. And oh my, do I love holiday football.
It's the most wonderful time of the season.
It's the thirstiest time of the year.
It's not Thanksgiving yet. Don't you dare bring in Christmas remarks. I can't have Sprite cranberry.
Why can't you have Sprite cranberry?
I'm allergic to cranberries.
Really?
Allergic to cranberries?
Well, now I know what to poison you with.
If you want me to go back onto the toilet, just give me a Sprite cranberry.
Is it poison or is it just like laxative?
No, I just give.
It's pretty much like a laxative.
I just give a can of Coors that's just full of ocean spray.
It won't be bad it will not be as bad as a food poisoning though.
Yeah.
That was rough. That sucked.
You said you lost like what, 10 pounds?
14.
God damn, dude.
When it all was said and done, it was 14 pounds.
What the fuck is not a
That's messed up.
Mamba
And-
disappeared.
All right, let's
Meanwhile, Mamba's camera
Hunting
just
season
shitting
came
itself.
around. I gained 5 pounds back.
Let's quickly take a look at the score. The score so far. So in first place we have K-Duff 158 and 58. He went 12-4 in week 12. Then Masson is 155 and 59. He went 8-5 in week 12. Mamba is 147 and 64. Went 9-6 in week 12. Gorlami is 138. He went 8-4 in week 12, and I'm 132. Excuse me, and 71 and went 8-5. That last
I'm
week.
just gonna be a ghost at this point. It's not working.
Yeah. You might just need to
The
restart
ghost-
your NVIDIA broadcast. I don't know. Something's
we're
going
not.
on.
We're
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
tail
I don't
end.
know what
I'll
the
just be
fuck's
the
happening.
ghost of Mamba.
Gosh,
Just move
darn Russians.
move his picture from the scores down and just put it there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No.
Come here, Mamba.
Scores, Mamba comic.
there we
go.
You can put the
There you
Lions
are.
logo above my head while you're at it.
Yeah. All right. So we have Thursday, 3 games at noon. Bears Lions at 4:30. Giants Cowboys, and at 8:20 Dolphins Packers. Bears Lions could be a bit competitive. Giants Cowboys will make you. That's the one you can say. And then Dolphins Packers will be a good game at 8:20.
But just remember
in Green Bay, and Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa are going to freeze their butts off.
Just remember when everyone thought the Lions were going to kill the Packers on Thanksgiving and the Packers won. Don't forget the Family Guy joke where they said that, hey, don't you guys have a football game to lose on Thanksgiving?
So yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Then Friday, you have the Black Friday game on Prime Video, Raiders Chiefs. Then you have a regular slate of Sunday games, followed by a Monday night game in Denver, Colorado, between the Browns and Broncos. The Browns could have 2 back-to-back snow games, which would be kind of crazy.
That'd be hilarious.
It would be. All right, so we'll start off with the Bears-Lions, the first of the Thursday night games for Thanksgiving. I'm going to take Detroit in this one by 14.
Ooh, the Lions by 21.
You said 14 before we started.
Well, I'm upping
it
it to
21 or
21. I'm upping it.
Okay. You said 11, Lob?
14.
Oh, 14 for Lob. Okay. Detroit fighting 21 of the Bears kneecaps.
It's a lot of kneecaps. Lions by 10. Oh, maybe the Bears will put up a fight. Who knows?
I mean, obviously, Lions by 17.
Okay.
I think it's just the Lions just that good, and they're not letting up. They're basically running up the score because they want to win now.
Yep. All right, Giants and Cowboys. I really want to go for Tommy DeVito on Thanksgiving. But something in my gut just tells me that I'm just relying on it way too much, and I don't think it's going to happen. Because I know it's going to happen. Giants win by 3.
That was such a long workaround that made no sense, and then you just brought it back.
Tommy fucking DeVito. Tommy Cutlets. Give it to me.
Hey,
Mamba.
We're going to
Sopranos by 7.
Yeah.
We're either going to get copyright struck by HBO, or we're going to get actually struck by the Soprano family. That's right.
I'm okay with both at this point.
Cooper Rush and Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
God, I'm sorry we don't live in a perfect world like back in your days in the 80s.
No, I'm
The
just saying,
1880s.
like, Cooper Rush, Tommy DeVito, fucking tie.
Oh, God.
Fucking tie.
All right, Gorlami.
Oh, I can't believe what I'm about to say. Tommy Cutlet's about to get cut.
Oh,
Give me the Cowboys by 3.
no.
Oh,
I hate to do it, but I'm gonna have to.
Just for parity's sake. How about them Giants by 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, I'm standing alone on this hill.
Baby. Giants.
do it. I'm sorry, Go. I may have to go tie because
Shit.
I don't blame you.
I want this game for Your Name Tree to make a greatest game video just to shit on both teams.
Yes, I would love that.
On Peacock, 8:20 p.m. Eastern, NBC and Peacock, it will be from Green Bay. The Dolphins will be playing the Packers. This is going to be a cold game. And I don't know about you, but I don't think Dolphins do well in the ice. So I will take the Pack in this one.
No, I mean, did you see their playoff game against the
10.
Chiefs last year? Of course they're not going to do well.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not great.
And also, Lindsey Sterling is performing at halftime.
The violin lady?
Yes.
Huh.
Well, fuck her. I'm going to Dolphins by 7.
Oh.
What?
Right, how much did you say, Lob? For Green Bay? 10. Green Bay by 8.
Roll out the barrel by 17.
Give me Packers by 10 plus 2 more concussions for Tua, courtesy of Quay Walker.
No. Oh, by Quay Walker. Okay.
Oh, no. And when the athletic trainer comes out, he's going to get the athletic trainer to
punch the athletic trainer.
He's going to suplex him.
Friday, get out of here! The Raiders and Chiefs in Kansas City, Missouri. Yes.
I said no!
Kansas City by 17.
Yeah.
Ooh, give me the opposite of the Raiders by 14.
Kansas City by 12.
You know what?
What?
I didn't even make my pick yet, but you might as well keep it up there because I'm going to say Chiefs by
Alright.
7.
Okay.
You know,
I was about
I'm
to
gonna.
say, who are you going to trust on QB for Raiders?
Punt
Fair
fair.
point.
I wanted to be
I mean-
funny. I wanted to be funny.
Crazier things have happen. I mean, we saw the Panthers almost beat them, so I think the Raiders could surprise us and lose by 25 to the Chiefs.
25. Yeah.
I just can't. I gotta admit, you're perfect. Like coming in one way, and it's like whoop, going
Yep.
to the other direction.
All right, Chargers Falcons 1 p.m. Sunday on December 1st from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna take the Bolts in this one. It's gonna be a very close game. I think both teams are solid, but at the same time, like there needs to be a lot more consistent performance from Kirk Cousins to sell me. So I'll take the Bolts by 5.
Ooh, give me the Bolts by 3.
Yogi
Let's
Bear.
go.
Hey, boo boo.
Hey, boo boo.
You want to go get us a picnic basket?
So Chargers charging or the Falcons falconing?
Hey, don't know Yogi.
Falcons gonna falcon more. The Chargers by 4.
Hey, boo boo. How about a Chargers victory by 10?
Yeah, that Coles cash isn't going to save you, Kirk. Give me Chargers by 5.
Big Kirk will wake up dripping like this.
Oh my god.
All right. Next up, Steelers.
L.A.
and Bengals.
Side. Yeah.
Yeah.
5. Get it done.
Give me the Metal Workers by 7.
If your defense was better, I'd say it'd be a closer game, but Pittsburgh by 8 because TJ Watt's gonna score a touchdown on you. I know he's on
Joe
defense,
Burrow.
but he's gonna do it.
Joe Burrow just back to pass. He's got Jamar Chase deep. And what's this? Zach Taylor called a screen. Give me the Steelers by 10.
God.
Steelers gonna win by. Yes. Matt Damon says Steelers by 13.
I'm
sorry,
sorry, Lob.
Lob.
I'm sorry, Lob.
Your
I can't trust that defense like one bit.
Also,
No,
I can't
you really
trust
can't.
Zach Taylor game plan unless it's against the Chiefs.
You guys are better off bringing back fucking Vontaze Perfect at this point.
All right,
Ooh.
Cardinals, Vikings. This could be a pretty good game. However, I think the Vikings have the upper hand in this one. I'll take them by 7.
Give me Skull by 14.
Minnesota by 11.
Just because deep down I still miss this man. Give me the Vikings by 6. I miss you, Aaron Jones, and your sombrero. I miss you.
Sombrero. All right.
He always,
Yeah,
wears,
give me
he always
the.
wears a big, like, flashy sombrero.
Didn't he go to UTEP?
Yeah,
UTSA? Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like right on the Rio Grande.
yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, give me the Vikings by 6. I think it'll be a close game.
Alrighty, we're all on the Vikings train for that one. Next up, Colts, Patriots.
I'm not happy about it.
Happy about it. Frozen Gorlami.
Girl, I'm gonna get frozen again.
Golly, man, stuff is going on today. All right.
Oh, I'm a
Colts-
Gorlami now. I'm not Gorlami now. Oh.
Colts, Patriots. I think Air Rich will be able to bounce back from this one. I'll take them by 5 in a close one.
Give me AR by 7. Oh, what the fuck happened?
What the fuck? Why did my camera just turn off?
You tell me.
I didn't even touch it.
God, Boston sports suffering. Yes, Indy by 5.
Anthony Richardson.
He lied.
Oh my god, he's
Oh,
fucking
great.
dead.
He's actually dead.
Oh, this show
That was
sucks.
great. That was
Oh my
great.
god.
Why?
That was
Why?
perfect timing.
You Discord. Piece
Oh
of
my-
shit.
What are you
How
taking
mu-
him?
how mu-
What are you taking him by?
7. God fucking damn it! My perfect fucking joke ruined.
All
I
right.
think it was
Son
better.
of a bitch.
I think it was
It's
better.
great.
Fucking.
It's
I'm suing Discord. That's what's happening.
It's great you
Okay,
can't see
so-
my face because I'm smirking so fucking
Fuck you, dude.
All right, K-Duff.
Okay, so yeah. So thing about New England is that there's very strict gun laws here. So AR-15s are banned. Patriots by 3.
Ooh, I like the end. Ooh.
Yeah.
Have to play on words there. All right.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next game.
What's the
Titans, Commanders, or sorry, no, I skipped one. Seahawks, Jets. JETS. Say it with me, everybody.
Sucks.
Sucks.
So-
Just put it on the board. We already
yeah.
know what's. No, I already know what everyone else is gonna say.
Seahawks by 10.
Birds by 14.
Okay. New York
Did you-
Jets just went from suck to blow.
Quit
Seattle
jumping the
by
god.
Seattle by. All right, were you gonna pick the Jets?
I might have. I might now just because he did this.
Really?
I might be petty.
Don't be
But,
petty. Bartholomew.
Seattle by 8. Is it because you miss Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't.
No one in Green Bay misses Aaron Rodgers.
No, after that last season, I pretty much knew he was done.
All right, but how much? By how much for whichever you picking?
747s are notorious for going down when a bird's nearby, so
God
give it the
damn
Seahawks by 10.
Oh,
God.
give
How
me
much-
the bird. Okay,
By 10.
give me. Okay, let's get off this. Give me the bird that made Captain Sullenberger famous by 10.
That was the joke I was going for.
All right.
Hey,
Titans,
no one
Commanders.
died on that one. It's fine.
Titans,
Why do I-
Commanders.
Why do I feel like this is a toss up?
It isn't. The Commanders
sad
bounce
part is
back, and they know that.
You're not
I'm-
wrong to think
I'm gonna
that.
take the Commanders by 3 in this one.
No, man, I'm gonna take Commanders by 7, but yeah.
Washington by 5.
Ah, fuck. Do I be the opposite here?
I don't know,
Eddie
Frozen
froze.
Gorlami.
God damn it. The show fucking sucks.
This show stinks. Damn it.
Give me the formerly known football team by 7.
Yeah, give me the commies by 9.
All right, all in agreement there with the Commanders. I think that Cowboys game is a bit of a fluke, and they kind of underestimated them, and they need to have a bounce back win. I think Dan Quinn realizes that. So
Here's
I
hoping.
I don't think it's as much of a toss up. It's just that we're used to the Commanders slash football team / former Redskins
Redacted.
being
Redacted.
being
Yeah.
very
L.
bad. So,
Hey, night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Houston, Jacksonville.
Yeah, Texans, Jaguars. Houston's. You got to shape things up, and what better team to shape it up than the the Doug Peterson hot seat machine? So yeah, Texans by 10.
Give me Texans by 7.
How the fuck is Peterson still coaching? Houston by 11.
Is Trevor Lawrence back yet? I haven't been paying attention.
I think
to
he
the
might be
Jaguars.
back by this week.
Yeah, he'll
They
be
said
back,
about a
I think.
2-week injury for shoulders, and it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, he's still gonna be a little riddled. I mean, Nico
Ritter's
Collins
on the
by
radar.
7.
Yeah, give me them Texas boys by 10.
I just need my fantasy team to keep doing good.
Right.
Then we get a hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Rams and Saints. But Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are all playing. I don't think there's much stopping the Rams besides just outscoring them, and I don't think the Saints can do that even with Taysom Hill. So I'll take the Rams in this one by 5.
Give me the Rams by 7.
Rams by 8.
Give me damn Rams by 9. Fuck you, Mastodon. Hitting the price is right.
Okay.
I had to do it
What's
once.
up,
I haven't.
Wait, hold on.
That's-
I'm 17 wins above you, so yeah.
Yeah, well, how many wins do you have? Yeah, I have
All
more.
right.
What?
What?
I won last year, and I won US UFL.
Oh,
You won by proxy because your old quarterback was on the winning team.
Oh well.
Anyway,
Okay,
let me
so-
talk to you. Give me them. Now I don't know what the fuck a Taysom Hill is, but I know the Rams are going to be walking all over them Saints by 10 points, with everybody saying L.A. Rams. Yeah.
And you also got to think Taysom Hill had his one ridiculous game already.
Yeah. This
Yes.
Is, yeah.
And for whatever
That was
reason,
against-
Madsen threw him in against me. Kicked my dick in.
Because Kincaid was hurt.
Yeah, you kicked my fucking ass.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure about this? I might go Panthers.
I mean, I know.
No.
I'm gonna go
Give me-
Buccaneers by 14.
Give me Buccaneers by 7.
I was gonna say Buccaneers by 5. I think it might be a little bit closer because Carolina is starting to pick up, and Tampa
It's
Bay,
a little lit too late.
and also you got Todd Bowles as head coach that can still somewhat fuck up.
True.
Yeah, we're gonna take the Zen Ripper by 7.
I actually
Baker
did
going-
the Sins.
Baker going bake this Thanksgiving weekend by 10.
Alrighty.
Oh, this game.
Eagles and Ravens.
Ooh.
Eagles and Ravens.
Bro, they don't even
it-
post the spread for this. That's wild.
It's going to come down to who runs the ball more, which means it's going to come down to who realizes they need to run the ball more, which means it comes down to the coach who is more attuned to the situation, realizes what they need to do better. So it's going to be the better coach. Nick Sirianni is a fucking idiot. Baltimore by 3.
Give me the Purple Birds by 7.
Saquon. Guess
All right, so we're
he's probably so Saquon with 3 touchdowns.
so we got a
Wait.
team.
Hold on.
3.
Three.
Philly by 3. Philly.
So we got a team with an elite running back and a mobile quarterback. And on the other side, we got a team with an elite running back and a mobile quarterback. But also, on the other hand, you got a hardball and a dipshit frat boy. Yeah, fuck it. Give me the Ravens by 6. The only way the Eagles are winning if the Saquon punches Sirianni in the face.
By 13.
That was
No,
good.
not the batteries.
Okay.
Shit.
All right. Let me just clear the board here. All right, 49ers and Bills. This looked like a good game when we were looking at it in the early parts of the season, and now the 49ers might even be without Brock Purdy. So I'm going to take Buffalo in
Again?
this one by 10.
By 10?
Me,
10.
give me Josh Allen, my idol, by 14. I'm done.
Yeah, Buffalo by 9. San Fran's just injured so bad. That's a lot to say.
Give me the team that breaks more tables than the WWE by 10.
Remind me, one of the 4 Super Bowls the Bills lost in the 90s, one of those was the 49ers, right?
No. They were all the
No,
opposite
it was-
teams.
Oh.
It was two against the Cowboys, 1 against the Redskins, and 1 against the Giants.
Oh.
Damn it, Jim Kelly.
That kind of ruins my joke. Then
That
just
was
give
not
me,
Jim Kelly's fault.
give me Bills Mafia
No.
by 6.
Bills by 6. Okay. 2 more games to cover and to predict here. So let's go ahead and look at the Monday night game. Monday Night Football. Browns, Broncos. I
Did you
mean,
turn into Borat saying that?
no, have you not seen the ESPN Deportes?
My wife.
The ESPN Deportes, I believe, coverage.
No.
It's the Latin American coverage.
Oh,
He
it's
does
Deportes.
interviews. Deportes.
I did it. I think we watched it once with
We
Running
got the
Rock.
Browns and the
Look up-
Broncos.
Look up
Very nice.
ESPN
I like.
Spanish announcer Monday Night Football, and there's this guy that covers Monday
King
Night
of the
Football.
Spanish football, Guna Ginga.
Actually, I'm looking at this.
Deport-
You say my wife is dead.
Deportes or
Great
Deportum?
success.
My name is Borat. He's nice.
No one got the
King of
joke.
the castle.
I
King of the
couldn't hear you.
castle.
We got everybody talking at once.
Deportes or Deportum?
Ayo.
Fucking hell, dude.
You can't see my face. That's the funny part.
Monday night. Monday night.
I can't hear
I
it.
can't hear.
Monday night football.
I'm
Oh,
deaf.
Jesus.
I'm colorblind.
yeah.
I can't hear. I'm colorblind.
Why does he look so angry?
I'll put this in the chat.
Monday night football.
Monday night football.
Monday
Monday night football.
night football.
Okay.
It's a great. Oh,
Turkey!
Turkey. But anyway, long way around it. I don't think the Browns looked good in their last primetime game. That was on a Thursday. I like the Broncos and Bronco Bo Nix so far. I'm going to take them by 5 in this one.
Give me the horseman himself by 14.
Just remember, it wasn't the Browns winning. It was the Steelers losing because Mike Tomlin's standard is a standard. Denver by 11.
Broncos gonna have great success. Give it the Broncos by 3.
There was Big Dick Nick. There was Big Cock Brock. Now get ready for Horse Dick Nicks by 9.
Oh, what? What did he say?
I used to work with horses. Have you seen those things?
Whoa! Whoa!
I feel like there's a,
Not that way.
I
Not
feel like there's,
that
I
way.
feel like there's, I feel like there's a song
Yeah.
like that somewhere.
No.
You know exactly what I'm talking about too.
Last game.
All right,
that we
shut
were
it, Mr. Hanks.
predicting-
The
oh,
last,
God, fucking damn it, no. No, Packers Lions on Thursday Night Football. Why such a good game on
Son
Thursday
of a
night?
bitch!
It's in
You are
Detroit.
fucking kidding me.
However, they'll both have a week to
Alright.
prepare, though. Hold on, they'll
Put it
both have a
back
week.
up.
They'll both have a
Yeah, they
week.
both have a week.
They'll both have a week to prepare because they play on. So it's not as bad. However, I will take the Lions in this one by 10.
Give me Big Lion by 7.
Big line.
Detroit is going to bite 5 kneecaps of the Packers.
Hate this. Fuck, I gave the Packers by 6. Come on, Green Bay!
I mean,
God.
I could see either way, but I just think Detroit's just better.
Yeah,
This
but
is
I
a
just feel like if we're gonna lose, it's gonna be our own fucking fault.
This is a reference not many of you guys are going to get, but like, you fucking Big Lion tossed a nuke over Green Bay with his fucking shadow arm. Okay, he gets it. Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
more people get that.
Detroit by how much?
Detroit by 12. I didn't know you guys were going to get that.
What,
Damn
what,
it!
what is
I didn't
it from?
expect you guys to get that. Oh, it's an old color card. I'll link it to you when we're done.
Balls of talking tip fucker.
Yo, where did I go? Where did I go?
Oh, was that like was that Letterkenny? This was
No.
Letterkenny.
Oh no, not even close. I'll
No.
link it in the
Okay,
chat.
whatever.
Let me see if I can.
Anyway.
No, I
was
just heard
thinking
someone.
Letterkenny.
Oh.
I was only saying it because
No!
Madison said something.
I thought it was.
All
I
right.
thought
He's
it was Letterkenny.
dead. He's
So-
dead.
Before we leave here, this is the week of American Thanksgiving, so we're going to go ahead and go around the table and just say the things that we are thankful for in this football season thus far. We'll start out with K-Duff.
I'm thankful Drake May doesn't seem as bad as I thought it would be, and that the season's almost over. Then we might land Travis Hunter. Heavy emphasis on might.
Heavy emphasis on might. Gorlami.
Thankful for Miller Lite, good Packers games, and the Bears still sucking. Thank you.
Mamba, with us in spirit.
I am thankful for firing Shane Waldron because he's a piece of shit, and also I am not thankful for this webcam.
Something's happening, yeah. Mastodon.
I am thankful for the Giants for giving away Saquon Barkley. Being able to be taking this week off from work.
That it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
There go.
And spiced rum.
I am thankful that despite the terrible season the Bengals are having, that our players are still playing well and are going to deserve to get paid. And hopefully we'll get paid. And I'm thankful for the holiday football, because not only do we have really great Thanksgiving football, we have really, really solid Christmas football also on the way, which is going to be amazing.
Netflix better fix their shit when that shows up.
Yeah. So hopefully there are some things to work out, but at the same time,
I don't think the Christmas game's gonna be that good. It's on a fucking Wednesday.
We'll have to see how it's done. Hopefully they increase the week one season. That way that everyone can have a bye before the Christmas week game. So that way they can have time to rest if it's like a Tuesday or Wednesday, which is rough. But anyway,
go back to 16 games. Just go back to fucking 16 games.
I don't believe in Jesus Christ.
I like one. Like I don't want teams to go exactly 500. You know. I kind of like teams to either be above it or below it, not at it.
Yo, what's a Christmas, guys? I don't know what a Christmas is.
Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We've gone on long enough. For myself, Macedon, A Ghostly Mamba, Gorlami, and K-Duff, thank you for joining us for the Football Studios. Make sure to like the video. New videos will be out usually every Friday. Obviously, this is different because of Thanksgiving. Enjoy Thanksgiving, however you celebrate it with friends, family, acquaintances, even by yourself, just watching some football at home. Enjoy the time. Enjoy.
You gotta call me out like that.
I'm not calling you out. I was not calling you out. I'm just calling anybody out like that. Anybody that is. Listen, you're never alone when there's football because there's always somebody that roots for your team with you.
I'd invite you over, Maston, if you didn't live like 500 miles away.
Unless you are a Chargers fan, then you are alone. But yeah. You can go to Philip Rivers' house, you know, and then you can introduce yourself to the entire Chargers fan base. But I mean, enjoy.
If you're a Bears fan, you drink yourself to
that's why I'm thankful. We can still make jokes about Philip Rivers.
Yeah, what a guy. But enjoy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football. It's coming to a close. Enjoy college rivalry weekend. We've got so many historic games going on, so make sure you enjoy that. And most importantly, run the damn ball. Have a good night and happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, and also, don't deep fry a frozen turkey. You'll set your house on fire.
And if you have your duck in, remember John Madden.
I'm flicking all you guys off right now. You can't see it.